Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. After the universe was wiped, I became the primordial gods of destruction. Chapter 81. Wait a minute. Beerus' face darkened. King Yan Luo immediately looked at Beerus respectfully. He did a lot of good deeds before, but robbing a bank once should be considered as an offset. Beerus said coldly. Yes. King Yan Luo trembled. After getting out of prison, I returned to a normal life. I didn't do any good or bad things. Why can I go to heaven? Is the threshold for going to heaven so low? Beerus asked. No. King Yan Luo was a little scared. Snapped. Beerus pointed at King Yan Luo's table. Immediately, King Yan Luo's desk turned into scum and completely dissipated. King Yan Luo knelt down directly, trembling with fright. What? Do you really think I dare not beat you up? Beerus said coldly. Give me a new trial. Do you really think I don't understand anything? Yes, Master Beerus. King Yan Luo hurriedly responded, rearranged and sent the Catstar named Barry to the reincarnation zone. Now King Yan Luo has clearly realized that what the newly appointed Lord Gods of Destruction needs is to enforce the law impartially, not to go through the back door. Soon it was the turn of Beerus' parents. King Yan Luo's heart almost jumped out. How can I review the two of them? What if the two of them are not fit to go to heaven? Fortunately, what worried King Yan Luo did not happen. Beerus' parents have done many good things in their life, and they have hardly done any bad things, so they can indeed go to heaven. Next is Wu Tien, who also meets the conditions for going to heaven. Okay, let me repeat again, I hope you enforce the law fairly. Beerus ordered. Yes, Master Beerus. Yan Luo Wangli replied immediately. Let's go, Beerus greeted. Afterwards, Beerus no longer cared about the matter of King Yan Luo's review, but walked with Champa in the direction of the entrance of the heaven with his parents and Wu Tien. Soon, Beerus and Champa took them into heaven. This is heaven, it really is completely different from hell. Father Cat sighed with emotion. So, we can start a new life here. The cat mother smiled. Father, Mom, you can live well here. Beerus feels that the environment in heaven is not bad. If you are really tired of life in heaven, it seems that you can apply for reincarnation. Quote. Don't listen to Beerus nonsense. Champa was anxious. You can't be reincarnated. Because once reincarnated, your memory will be erased. If your memory is erased, you won't be your parents. If life in heaven is better, fools will reincarnate. Father Cat laughed, and patted Tato Wu on the shoulder. Yes, Tato Wu. Yes, Taito nodded. Children, can you visit us more often in the future? The cat mother asked. Definitely come sometime. Beerus nodded. 6th, the universe can only be rushed over, and the distance is relatively long. Champa said, but I will often come to visit my parents, as well as brother Wu Tien. Quote. After you die, we can be reunited as a family. Father Cat laughed. What are you talking about? The child's father. The cat mother rolled her eyes. But then again, both of you are already gods of destruction, how long is your lifespan? Father Cat asked. I heard the prophecy fish say that gods of destruction's lifespan is infinite. Beerus replied. Infinity. The cat mother was taken aback. It means life is eternal. If you don't die in battle, you shouldn't die of old age. Champa explained. Cat father, cat mother, Wu Tien. Tato Wu felt speechless again. If you die in battle, as long as you can kill me and Champa. It is estimated that neither of our souls can escape. Beerus said. Yeah, Champa nodded, the souls of those dead gods of destruction dissipated. The cat father and cat mother were speechless. I was looking forward to the scene of family together. As a result you come to an eternity of your life. Even if you die, your soul will disappear. Father, Mom, brother Wu Tien, we should go back too, Beerus said. Beerus and I are planning to go to Catstar to say goodbye to them. Champa also said. Go, children. Father Cat nodded. Come on, my children. The mother cat hugged Champa and Beerus. The first universe, universe space. Luo Tien walked slowly in the universe space of the first universe, and observed this universe. Luo Tien discovered that the major universes are indeed chaotic nowadays. Although the rabbit clan on the side of the first universe is withdrawing troops, they still don't forget to harass the passing planets while withdrawing troops. For a time, where the army of the rabbit clan passed by, many planets became waste planets. However, compared to the 7th universe, the number of rabbits in the 1st universe is not too many, and the number of deaths is only about 2 billion. In fact, 2 billion is not a small amount. Of course, if you look at the entire universe, it's really nothing. Luo Tien shook his head, and there was nothing polite about it. Shua. With a wave of Luo Tien's big hand, he directly covered the past. Immediately, the 2 billion rabbit clan vanished into thin air, completely wiped out. It's interesting. Luo Tien smiled. Gods of destruction of the 1st universe, I gave you face, right? The gods of destruction of the 1st universe probably simply issued an order to evacuate his people. But how to evacuate, he probably didn't go into details. This also resulted in the evacuating races harassing the passing planets. What do you mean by evacuation? You are clearly taking the opportunity to capture other planets, right? What was gods of destruction in the 1st universe called? It seems to be called pulling pants. Yes, fall. Ask him. Call out. Luo Tien turned into a stream of light, and flew towards the direction of the universe center. While flying, Luo Tien also let go of the induction, and quickly sensed the guy with destructive energy in the universe. Luo Tien is not sure now, whether gods of destruction Lakurong is on the gods of destruction star. However, under this induction, Luo Tien suddenly discovered that there were 7 destructive energy reactions at the edge of the universe far away. Luo Tien was delighted at that time. Are you 7 gods of destruction gathered together to discuss how to deal with me? Check it out. Luo Tien changed his figure in the air and galloped in another direction. Where the 1st and 12th universes connect. Lukuzi and other gods of destruction are still releasing destructive energy, attacking the seal of the enchantment. Come on everyone, you must remove this seal within 7 days. Lukuzi said loudly. Bang bang bang. The powerful destructive energy hit the enchantment, but the enchantment seemed to just set off small waves. However, the color of the enchantment has also become darker than before. Continuing to develop at this level, I think we can lift the seal within 3 days. Wu Kuzi analyzed. 3 days. Great. Faster than we thought. Gods of destruction said excitedly. Is there really a powerful god in another world? There is also a look of expectation on the face of gods of destruction. There must be, maybe even stronger than Master Zeno. Lukuzi smiled. Otherwise, why did Master Zeno seal this place? He can go to another world and conquer that world. So, you mean that Master Zeno is also afraid of the gods of another world? Asked gods of destruction. That's right. Lukuzi nodded. But then again, where did you say Master Zeno went? Did you really leave him behind? Gods of destruction also asked curiously. Of course, these gods of destruction are not idle while asking, constantly releasing destructive energy, and continue to harden the seal of the enchantment. You don't know, but I heard another piece of news. Wu Kuzi smiled and said, it's about Lord Zeno. What news? Master Zeno seems to fall into a period of weakness every once in a while. How weak is it? It seems to be only as good as our gods of destruction. Yakuzi said with a smile. What, will it be so weak? Will his erasure still work? I don't know about that, but it seems that our gods of destruction cannot be erased. Shikuzi smiled mysteriously. Shendu's eyes lit up with numerous destructions. So, Master Zeno must be looking for a place to hide during this period, right? Someone speculated from gods of destruction. So this is the best time for us to break through the barrier. Now Kuzi nodded. I also guess that Mr. Quan may be hiding. My brother is right, otherwise, would Master Zeno show up for such an important meeting? Lukuzi added. Yeah, the gods of destruction present nodded in agreement. I heard that Master Xiaochuan doesn't have a period of weakness, but he can't fight, but his erasing ability is not weak at all. Shikuzi added. Master Xiaochuan can't fight. Does he not have the ability to fight? It doesn't seem to be. What Master Xiaochuan inherited is Master Zeno's ability to erase. Wu Kuzi replied, the level of combat has not been inherited at all. Why are you talking about those useless things? Don't forget, the 2 guards are also very powerful. If you take any one out, they are many times stronger than our gods of destruction. We're just chatting, not really challenging them. Shikuzi smiled. Several gods of destruction continued to release destruction while chatting. I'm curious what the other world will look like, and what kind of monsters will come out. Gods of destruction smiled and looked at the enchantment. I still say that, even Lord Zeno wants to seal this place, which means that the gods of another world are more powerful than we imagined. Lukuzi said. Hope they'll be friendly. There's gods of destruction sigh. Let's work hard. Try to open the barrier as soon as possible. Let the god of that world come over. Now Kuzi waved his arms. Well, come on. Luo Tien flew over without a sound, and smiled slightly at Now Kuzi. Come on. Niu Kuzi didn't come back to his senses for a while, and even nodded kindly to Luo Tien. Then, the medical library consultation will be released and cannot be broken. 3 seconds later, the atmosphere at the scene gradually solidified. The expressions of the 7 gods of destruction present also changed again and again. Inspector, Master Inspector. Now Kuzi trembled, and hurriedly knelt down. The rest of the gods of destruction also immediately bowed to Luo Tien. Get up. Luo Tien smiled. The 7 gods of destruction were trembling with fright and didn't know what to do for a while. It's over. Found out. This is bad. What are you 7 doing here? Luo Tien asked with great interest. What is this? A passage from another world? No. It's not. Gods of destruction waved his hands vigorously. That's not the case, Lord Inspector. We destroy. Luo Tien didn't want to be polite, and directly hit him with a destructive energy. Snapped. This gods of destruction was beaten into nothingness at that time, completely vanishing into thin air. Lukuzi and the gods of destruction were all shocked. Is this Inspector serious? And why is it so strong? None of our partners had time to resist, and he was killed by him at once. His destructive energy is too powerful. I don't like the lying gods of destruction. Luo Tien snorted and looked at Lukuzi and the other gods of destruction with a sneer. Lukuzi and the other gods of destruction trembled even more violently. This inspector is definitely a ruthless person. Without hesitation, we destroyed the gods of destruction of one of our universes. This place belongs to the first universe, the gods of destruction of the first universe. Your name is Lukuzi, right? Tell me. Luo Tien looked at Lukuzi with a smile. Yes, Lord Inspector. Rakuzi had no choice but to bite the bullet now. But, how do you tell the truth about this kind of thing? If I told the truth, I would still be beaten to death by him. Rakuzi felt very embarrassed. Tell me, what is this thing? Luo Tien asked with a smile. I think you all seem to have ruined the day, right? This is an enchantment. It is said that it can lead to another world. Lukuzi quickly replied. Oh, what kind of world is that? Have you heard of it? Luo Tien asked. It seems to be the demon world. It is said that the most powerful god in that world is the demon god. Lukuzi explained. Devil god, how powerful is it? Luo Tien smiled. As for how strong he is, we don't know, only Lord Zeno has seen him. Lukuzi replied. Oh, Master Zeno has seen a demon god. Luo Tien was slightly taken aback. We are talking about the old Master Zeno, not the current Master Shaochuan. Lukuzi explained. The seal of this barrier is Master Zeno's masterpiece. He does not want the barrier to be opened. Let the demon god come to our world. Then, with so many of you destroying the barrier here, do you want the demon god to come over there and deal with me? Luo Tien looked at Lukuzi with a smile. Rakuzi, oops, talk too fast and get yourself involved. This is troublesome. Yes, Lukuzi bit the bullet and nodded lightly. For the sake of your honesty, let's wipe off one of your arms as a punishment. Luo Tien said. With a light wave of his big hand, he wiped off Rakuzi's 10 arms directly. Without even reacting, Lukuzi realized that one of his arms had disappeared. As for you, accept the punishment together with him. Luo Tien snorted, waved his hand again, and wiped off one arm of the other 5 gods of destruction. These 6 gods of destruction were scared silly at the time. This inspector is not only powerful, but also Master Zeno's erasure technique. Are you human? The 6 gods of destruction trembled with fright, and honestly knelt down even lower. I've already given you a chance, but you didn't cherish it, and instead tried to find a demon god from another world to deal with me. Luo Tien sneered. Therefore, your gods of destruction position will be revoked from now on, and now you will immediately go back and take care of your group. I hope you won't let me down again. As for your missing arms, you can grow them back through healing potions and other medicines, but it's best not to let me know, or I won't be happy." The faces of the 6 gods of destruction changed again and again. In other words, I dare not grow arms in the future. If the Lord Inspector finds out, the Inspector will definitely destroy us himself. Master Inspector, yes. I was threatened by their brothers. I didn't want to participate at first. A gods of destruction hurried forward and said, "Oh, really? Are they threatening?" Luo Tien looked at the gods of destruction with a smile. "Yes, I was going back to shrink the ethnic group, but the 2 brothers wooed me and said that they wanted me to join their team and fight against the Lord Inspector. I couldn't beat them, so I had to temporarily agree." The gods of destruction hurriedly responded. "Since you want to rebel against me, then rebel honestly, don't turn against me when you find something is wrong." Luo Tien shook his head. "Gods of destruction like you, there is no need to exist. Destroy." With a wave of Luo Tien's big hand, he directly destroyed this gods of destruction completely. There are only 5 gods of destruction left. These 5 gods of destruction are really going to be freaking out. Mr. Inspector simply doesn't play his cards according to common sense. These 2 universes of gods of destruction that I destroyed just now, push them to be responsible for cleaning up their ethnic groups. Luo Tien smiled. Can I? Shikuzi asked hastily. "Let your brother go." Luo Tien smiled lightly. Me. Lukuzi was taken aback. "Okay, no problem, just, why did you choose me to go?" "I have no other intentions, Mr. Inspector, because I want to give me a redemption chance." "That's not true, it's because I have wiped out the people of your universe." Luo Tien replied. What did you say?" Lukuzi's face changed again and again. "The rest of the gods of destruction, hurry back and shrink your group, and post a message in your universe. By the way, I'm going to choose a new gods of destruction to take office." Luo Tien snorted coldly. Yes, Lord Inspector." Lukuzi and the other gods of destruction didn't dare to say much, so they could only respectfully kneel down and salute. "By the way, it is worth mentioning that if you dare to kill humans who have the potential to become gods of destruction, I don't mind destroying you in the past." Luo Tien turned cold and said sternly, "Also, if you have the ability to run for gods of destruction." All the gods of destruction present, except for Le Courant, breathed a sigh of relief. Since clansmen can also run for gods of destruction, so we still have a chance. As long as our descendants become gods of destruction, everything is fine. Now, even if other races become gods of destruction, our status will gradually be eliminated. Only Lukuzi felt sad, because Lukuzi's ethnic group in the first universe was wiped out by Luo Tien. "If your people have the ability to run for gods of destruction, I will not choose them." Luo Tien added. Now Kuzi and the rest of gods of destruction were speechless. "Don't talk so out of breath, okay? May I not know what you think?" Luo Tien sneered. "If your people have the ability to run for the gods of destruction, you will find ways to suppress other races without hesitation. Many gods of destruction are silent. That's what we thought just now. This inspector really knows everything. Remember, this is your last chance. If you behave well, I can spare your life." Luo Tien said with a serious expression. "Of course, you can also rebel against me, but I don't mind putting you and your people are all wiped out." "Yes, Lord Inspector." Several gods of destruction quickly kowtowed to apologize. "Go." Luo Tien waved his hand, indicating that they can get out. The remaining 5 gods of destruction hurried away. Only Luo Tien was left on the scene. Luo Tien silently looked at the black vortex in the distant space. Black's vortex remained motionless, as if it had been frozen, which seemed a bit strange in this space. Luo Tien knew that this vortex was sealed. As long as the seal is broken, the gods of another world may appear in this world. Devil, or are there other gods? If other worlds exist, can I also absorb their energy zones? Now, Luo Tien has 2 kinds of energy saturated. One is gold energy. One is the power of destruction. Supreme Kai's divine power and erasing power are not yet saturated. Of course, the absorbed energy can continue to become dirty through self-cultivation. With a move in Luo Tien's heart, he looked at the seal again. "Do you want to break this seal?" See what the demon god looks like. Maybe there are dragons in it. Maybe Salama is in it. Only by bringing Salama into this world, will the world have a Dragon Ball born. Yuan Zun old man can be reborn through Dragon Ball. Luo Tien took a deep breath, stretched out his hand and aimed at the seal. Destroy. Luo Tien waved his big hand forward, and powerful destructive power instantly covered the seal. Crack, crack. The seal that had been worn by the 7 gods of destruction for a whole day without seeing any movement was just cracked by Luo Tien lightly. Cracks spread to the surroundings, and the seal might be broken at any time. Demon World. The boundless black land. Above the land is brown sky, which is truly cloudless. The surroundings of the earth are extremely empty, as if the universe is so endless. At this moment, above this piece of brown sky, there is a ray of light that is as bright as a star moving fast. The picture gradually zooms in, revealing the image of a little girl with a ponytail. The little girl looks very cute. If calculated according to human age, she looks about 10 years old. The little girl's hair is silvery white, and she holds a scepter in her hand. However, the little girl's expression seemed a little flustered. When the camera zooms out further, it can be clearly seen that there are 2 streamers of black chasing at the direction of the little girl. Call out. The little girl suddenly waved the scepter lightly, and 2 invisible energies flashed from the scepter. 2 invisible energies instantly appeared in front of the 2 groups of black streamers. Bang, bang. The 2 streamers of black lightly waved their hands, and directly sent the flying invisible energy flying. There was a violent fluctuation in space. Little girl. The little girl bit her lip and accelerated her flying speed again. Vados, you can't run away. One of Black's shadows suddenly said, Gia Gia Gia, the end of the devil world is just ahead. You have nowhere to escape. Little angel, stop honestly. Is there anything we can discuss properly? Another shadow of Black also smiled. There's nothing to discuss. You want to catch me and threaten my father. Do you think I don't know anything? The little girl said. This little girl is none other than Angel Vados in her infancy. If Luo Tien saw such a scene, he would definitely be surprised. Luo Tien would never have imagined that Vados, who is an angel, would have this kind of encounter. Vados little angel, after you are caught by us, at least your father has a certain chance to come and rescue you. Black Shadow said with a smile. The 2 black shadows gradually approached Vados, and the distance between them was getting closer and closer. The faces of the 2 were slowly revealed. I saw that these 2 people looked a bit like Dabra, but their faces were black, their complexion was extremely dark, and there was endless evil in their eyes. It's hard to imagine that a person who looks like Dabra can chase Angel Vados all over the world and flee. Of course, they are not actually Dabra, they are countless times stronger than Dabra. Vados bit his lip, picking up speed again. At the same time, the crystal ball of the scepter in Vados' hand flickered a few times, trying to get in touch with his father. However, somehow, Vados was unable to contact his father anyway. What? Do you want to contact your father through that stick? Haiying smiled and said, you should stop doing wasted work. The 2 of us have already shielded this area, and your stick can't get in touch with your father. Oops, things are getting worse. Vados sighed helplessly. Little angel, you can catch him without a fight. Haiying laughed loudly. Although the other shadow didn't speak, the corner of his mouth curled up in an evil curve. Boom, ouch. In the next moment, Vados exclaimed, and bumped his head against an invisible barrier in front of him. Vados blushed from the pain and rubbed his aching head. Immediately afterwards, Vados raised his head and looked forward, and suddenly found that a large barrier appeared in the space in front of him. The barrier is like a glass cover, blocking this area. Just now Vados bumped into this barrier, which made his head hurt a little. Here, is this the end of the world? Vados murmured. Whoa, whoa. After such a slight delay, the 2 shadows behind Vados followed quickly and appeared behind her. Little angel, you can really run. Haiying said with a smile, we have tracked you from the center of the demon realm to the end of the demon realm. The other black shadow said less, just smiled contemptuously, feeling like he was caught in a urn. Anyway, this little angel can't run away. This is the end of the demon world. Vados sighed slightly, do you know what lies beyond the end? I don't know, and I'm not interested in knowing. Haiying snorted, you should take care of your own situation. Do you still have a place to run? Don't run, I'll just go with you. Vados hesitated, looked around, and replied. That's pretty much the same. If I knew this earlier, why bother? Haiying smiled lightly. If you want to blame this kind of thing, you can blame your father. Who made your father not know what is good? You demons have been bullying our angels for a long time, and you haven't allowed us to resist. Vados snorted. If you bully you, bear with it. Haiying smiled. Resistance is futile. Your father is indeed strong, but he is still far behind Lord Demon God. Exclamation mark. My father will defeat the demon god. Save our angel clan. Vados shouted sweetly. Go ahead and make your spring and autumn dream. Haiying sneered. Okay, stop talking to her, take her back, and hand her over to Lord Demon God. Another black shadow spoke. Okay, Sombra nodded, and was about to go forward to catch Vados. Vados was just about to use the last bit of angel's power to escape in another direction. Although Vados was very tired and unable to resist, she didn't want to be caught without a fight. Crack, crack. Suddenly, cracks appeared in the barrier in front of Vados. What? Vados was stunned. What's the situation? The eyes of the two shadows also widened. How does it look? The enchantment here is going to be broken. The two black shadows were a little scared, and couldn't help pulling away from here. Click. Crack spread around again. Boom. Accompanied by a muffled sound, the deepest area of the crack exploded all of a sudden. Suddenly, a spiral black hole appeared in that area. What? The barrier has been opened. The two shadows were shocked. Vados bit his lip, and then without the slightest hesitation, he turned into a streamer as bright as a star, and fell into the black hole in an instant. That black vortex should be another world. The black figure who spoke less frowned and said in a deep voice, I've heard of that world, and it's said that the strongest is a guy named Zeno. Really? Can we beat him? Asked another shadow. The two of us are pissed off. But Lord Demon God will definitely be able to beat that guy named Zeno all over the place. Should we invite Lord Demon God over? There's no need for that. The guy named Zeno may not appear at the exit. Shall we go in and get little angel back? Walk. After a brief discussion between the two, there was no longer the slightest hesitation, and they immediately plunged into the dark vortex. Dragon Ball World. Just as Luo Tien shattered the barrier, he saw a stream of light rushing out from the dark vortex. After Vados appeared, he immediately glanced towards Luo Tien, and then looked back and forth, left and right. Immediately afterwards, Vados hastily turned around magnificently, aiming the scepter in his hand at Black's spiral flame. Snapped. The power of Angel quickly covered the spiral flame. Hey, big brother, come and help me. Can you help me seal this position again? Vados asked hastily. You are. Luo Tien's eyes lit up, both surprised and delighted. This female doll. How does it look so much like Vados? It can't really be Vados, can it? Call out. Luo Tien flew forward quickly, looking up and down at Vados. Vados, you haven't seen my race? Vados asked dumbfounded. What's your name? Luo Tien asked. Vados replied. Luo Tien. Sure enough, it was Vados. You look so kawaii. This is really a windfall. I originally thought that the other world was connected to the Dragon Clan. Unexpectedly, it was the Angel family. Do you have a problem with my name? Vados was speechless. It's okay. Luo Tien smiled. Just as they were talking, the two demons had already entered the black vortex, trying to break out from it. Oops, they're coming out. Vados exclaimed. Help them, they're strong. Beware of your world being destroyed by them. Li is good, Luo Tien nodded thoughtfully, and replied, I want to test how strong they are, aren't even you their opponent? Hey, Vados sighed helplessly. If I were their opponent, should I still be in such a hurry? What are you asking? Boom, there was another muffled sound. Immediately afterwards, two black figures rushed over from the black vortex, and quickly appeared beside Vados and Luo Tien. Look, let them run over. Vados looked at Luo Tien and said. Luo Tien looked over silently. Aren't these two guys the black-faced Apra? The looks are quite interesting. Luo Tien didn't have anything to be polite, and directly turned on the energy absorption mode. These two guys don't look like good people at first glance. If you don't smoke, who else can you smoke? However, under Luo Tien's suction, he found that it couldn't be sucked. That said, the energy inside these two guys is new type. If it is energy of destruction, even though Luo Tien has already absorbed the energy of destruction, it can still be absorbed. The absorbed energy will appear in the hand, which can be dissipated or used by others. Can't absorb it. It's nothing to worry about. Shua. Luo Tien quickly appeared beside the two shadows, and patted their shoulders lightly with both hands, absorbing a bit of their energy. Shua. Luo Tien returned to the position just now, silently feeling the absorbed energy. It really is a new type of energy. The color of the energy is pitch black as black coal balls. Luo Tien guessed that this might be magic power. Not bad, there is another peculiar energy zone. Now there are 5 kinds of energy in Luo Tien's body. The energy of gold, the divine power of red, the erasing power of nothingness, the destructive power of purple red, and the magic power of dark black. The two shadows were also frightened. As soon as the two came over, they found that the person from the different world disappeared suddenly, and appeared behind him, and patted himself on the shoulder with his hands. The two of them were terrified, but then they discovered unexpectedly, it seemed that this guy was nothing special. You slapped us twice, and we didn't suffer the slightest harm at all. Is he Zeno? Sombra asked. He's not. Only the devil knows what he is. He should be a common human, or a god of this world. It feels like he's nothing special. You're right, it's just a bit fast. Kill him, it's useless to keep it. I think it will work. Huh, have you noticed that something is wrong? I feel like the magic power in my body is dissipating rapidly. What? Me too. How could this be? Hey, big brother, run quickly, don't be in a daze here. Vados didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and hurriedly stepped forward and grabbed Luo Tien, leading him to draw a streamer as bright as a star, and quickly fled the scene. Ahem. Why are we running? Luo Tien asked. Don't you know how scary they are? Didn't you attack them twice just now? Did it work? Vados sighed slightly. Luo Tien didn't say much, and took the opportunity to absorb a trace of Angel's power in Vados' body. Immediately, there were layers of angel power in Luo Tien's body. Good stuff. This angel power is definitely a good thing. Luo Tien resisted the urge to suck Vados dry. How many angels are there in your world? Luo Tien asked. Vados, you know a lot of things, and you know I'm angel. Vados was a little surprised. I know a little bit. Luo Tien nodded. So, are our worlds and this world ever connected? Vados speculated. Yes, that's right, Luo Tien replied. Forget it, now is not the time to talk about these things, don't let me drag you away, you should also increase your strength, we can fly together so that we can escape their pursuit faster. Vados suggested. Don't run away, they didn't catch up. Luo Tien smiled, they are still staying in place. Huh, really? Vados was taken aback for a moment, and immediately turned his head and glanced behind him. Looking at the past, Vados was stunned at the time. Sure enough, the two black shadows were in a daze in place, and they seemed to have moved forward for about 100 meters, and then they disappeared. Wait a minute, they seem dead. Vados froze. It's true that I can't sense their breath anymore. Luo Tien nodded. I said I sucked them to death, would you believe me? You two are so arrogant, who will you kill if I don't kill you? Did they bully you? Luo Tien asked. Oh my god, they hunted me down for half a month. I just flew from the central area of the demon realm to the Cape of Tianya. Vados sighed and mustered up his courage, I'll go and have a look. Call out. Vados flew in the direction of the two demons, and raised his vigilance, for fear that the two of them would be plotting something. However, when Vados took a closer look, he found that the two of them were dead. Really dead. Wasi was still a little puzzled, holding the scepter to scan the two people for a long time. Really dead. Definitely not pretending. What happened? How did they die? Vados wondered. Maybe if you do too many immoral things, you will die if you die. Luo Tien smiled. Vados looked at Luo Tien with suspicious eyes. Luo Tien turned a blind eye. Help me seal the barrier now, lest more demons come to this world. Vados suggested. While speaking, the scepter in his hand flashed with the power of Angel, and quickly covered the barrier above. It didn't take long for the enchantment with cracks to appear before, and the cracks at this time were being repaired bit by Vados. Fortunately, the demons didn't come after them, and Vados had plenty of time to repair it. More than an hour has passed. Vados finally finished repairing the barrier. Black's vortex stopped spinning again, as if it was fixed on the universe space. Luo Tien didn't stop him either, and planned to understand the situation first. Anyway, it is very easy to break this enchantment. You can't plunge into the demon world with your eyes in the dark, and then just suck it up. If there are really scary guys on the demon race side, it won't be troublesome enough. It's better to be careful. Luo Tien is not that kind of reckless person. Snapped. With a wave of Luo Tien's big hand, a group of destructive energy quickly covered the barrier, which is equivalent to adding a layer of protective cover on the barrier. Now you can rest assured, right? Luo Tien smiled. Well, not bad. After you add this layer of protective cover, it's obviously much safer here. Vados nodded in satisfaction, just like a little adult. I'm very interested in that world of yours, so tell me and share it. Luo Tien smiled. I'm also more interested in your world. Can you take me on a trip in this world as a guide? AGFD. Vados proposed with a smile. Of course, no problem, come with me. Luo Tien said, leading the way slowly in front. Vados walked side by side with Luo Tien. Luo Tien also had nothing to hide, telling Vados the layout of this world. After talking for nearly 20 minutes, Luo Tien finally explained this world clearly. It's amazing, this world exists in the form of universes. Vados couldn't help feeling, there are a total of 12 universes in this world, and the 2 universes that add up to 13 are mirror images universe. In the universe, where there is creation, there is destruction, and they are gods of creation, namely Supreme Kai and gods of destruction. I get it. It very interesting, and it completely different from our world. What kind of world is it in your place? Luo Tien asked. Is it called the Demon Realm? No, our world is called the City of Angels, and it's an endless continent. The vastness of the continent even catches up with your universe here. Vados explained, there are many angels like me in the City of Angels. But one day, a certain barrier in Angel City was suddenly opened, and a large number of demons emerged from the barrier, quickly occupying our world. I think your strength is not low, even you can't beat them. Luo Tien asked curiously. We angels are a peace-loving race. Although we have magical abilities, we rarely fight. Vados said softly, and, if we fight with all our strength, we will disappear. This is our angel, the characteristics of a family. You don't have to fight with all your strength. Do you have to fight with all your strength every time? Luo Tien answered without being surprised. Well, you're right. Vados nodded. Has the leader of the demon race already taken over your world? Luo Tien asked again. The leader of the demon clan is known as the demon god, and he has occupied the largest city in our angel city. Vados sighed. During this period, our angel clan also resisted, but it was difficult to be their opponent. Later, my father led some war-fighting angels, resisted them and gradually regained some lost ground. Your father? Luo Tien asked. My father is very powerful. At present, only my father can fight against the demon god. Vados replied. This time I was playing outside, and I was accidentally discovered by 2 elders of the demon clan. I had no choice but to run away. Just thinking about it, I ran to your world. The strength of the demon god is not much different from that of your father. Luo Tien was thoughtful. Yeah. Vados nodded. Besides the demon god, are there other powerful demons? Luo Tien asked again. I don't know about that, probably not. Vados shook his head. Basically figured it out. Luo Tien nodded. Let's go, I'll bring you something delicious first, are you hungry? Our angel family doesn't need to eat, and we will never be hungry. Vados grinned, but if there is something delicious, you can taste it. Follow me. Luo Tien took Vados and quickly flew towards some living planet. Afterwards, Luo Tien killed a wild boar on this planet, and directly roasted and ate the pig. After eating the delicious barbecue, Vados felt the pleasure brought by his taste buds at that time. Oh, I didn't expect the food in this world to be so delicious. It's the first time I've eaten such delicious meat. Vados ate happily. By the way, what kind of meat is this? Wild boar. Yes. Luo Tien nodded. This is the most common animal. The meat of common animals is so delicious. Vados was filled with emotion. Have you ever eaten crab? Luo Tien asked. Crab. Vados shook his head blankly. I'll catch you a crab for you to taste. Luo Tien quickly came to the beach and directly caught a 2-meter large king crab. Oh my, is the meat of this monster edible? Vados was amazed. Try it and you'll know. With a smile on his face, Luo Tien set up a bonfire and roasted the big crab directly. Vados watched silently from the sidelines. The big crabs are grilled in no time. Luo Tien peeled off the crab's cover, and the crab roe flowed out from the inside, and the umami taste was tangy. Quick, hurry up and taste it. Lu Qing greeted. Is this shit-like thing edible? Vados shook his head vigorously. I don't have appetite just looking at it. If you don't eat it, I'll eat it. Luo Tien took a sip, feeling so delicious. This tastes so good. It is even more delicious than the king crab eaten in the previous life. After all, the king crab here is wild, and the seawater has not been polluted, so it has a pure natural taste. Seeing Luo Tien eating so happily, Vados walked up with a small mouth. Let me have a taste. Vados couldn't help it. If it doesn't taste good, just spit it out, no big deal. Feel free to taste. Luo Tien smiled. Vados tasted a bite of crab roe, and felt endless pleasure at that time. I didn't expect. This thing is so delicious and juicy. Vados really felt the endless taste on his taste buds. I asked you to eat it just now and you didn't eat it, now you know it's delicious. Luo Tien said with a smile. Well, I want to eat, I want to eat. Vados was very happy to eat, and quickly ate up all the crab roe, and said to Luo Tien, can I catch another one? Eat the meat first. Luo Tien broke off a crab leg, picked out the meat inside and handed it to Vados. Vados smacked his mouth and took a sip. Immediately, Vados' eyes began to dance gracefully. Oh my, I didn't expect crab legs to be so delicious. It's the first time I have eaten such delicious food. Vados sighed. The two quickly ate up the crab. Could you catch another one for me? I haven't had enough yet, Vados suggested. Okay, Luo Tien didn't object, and quickly caught another king crab from the sea. This king crab is about the same size as the one just now, about 2 meters. Luo Tien set up a flame and began to grill the king crab. By the way, how old are you? Vados asked. 18 years old, how about you? Luo Tien replied, and asked again. 18 years old, are you calculating your age according to 1 solar year? Vados quickly analyzed it with the scepter, and nodded thoughtfully. That's right, a year is counted according to the planet orbiting its own star. Luo Tien replied. We are different, we calculate our age according to the period of growth. Vados replied, the growth period of our angel family is about 10 years in your place. Luo Tien didn't say anything. I'm 10 years old this year, if you calculate it with you, I should be 100 years old. Vados giggled, so, don't think I'm small, but you have to call me sister. Luo Tien, oh, I called you big brother twice before, I didn't expect you to be younger than me. Vados smiled happily. When will you grow up? Luo Tien asked. Should be similar to you, around the age of 14 or 15, I will gradually develop and grow, and my figure and appearance will be finalized around the age of 18. From then on, I will always maintain the appearance of that time. Vados replied, yes, the lifespan of the angel family is eternal. Luo Tien nodded lightly, without commenting. Huh, what's this? Vados suddenly noticed a shiny shell caught in the crab's pincers. It seems to be an abalone. It's such a big abalone, I didn't notice it before. Luo Tien said, and took the abalone off the crab's pincers. The abalone is alive and wriggling. Moreover, this abalone is not small, it is the size of 2 palms. After seeing the scene of the abalone wriggling there, Vados' cheeks were flushed and he was extremely shy. Yeah, Luo Tien, what do you mean? Vados said with a blushing face. What's wrong? Luo Tien was taken aback. What is that? Vados couldn't bear to watch it any longer. This is called abalone, and it tastes very good. Luo Tien said, I'll grill this and eat it by the way. Ah, can this kind of thing be eaten? Vados exclaimed coquettishly. Yes, it tastes delicious, Luo Tien said. Vados. Hash. Eat it if you want, but I won't eat it anyway. Vados shouted loudly. Whatever you want. Luo Tien picked up the abalone and put it on the flame to grill. Soon, the aroma of seafood came from the abalone. Seeing the abalone struggling on the shell, Vados felt that his heart was also struggling. Could this be left off the grill? Thank goodness this thing is a black. If it's blue, then. Vados didn't even dare to think about it. By the way, do your parents know that you came to our world? Luo Tien asked. Do you need to say hello to them, lest they worry about you? I want to say hello, but this world and our world have been closed. If I want to say hello, I can only open that barrier again. Vados shook his head. If it doesn't work, just open it. The gods of destruction in our world are not easy to mess with. Luo Tien replied. Forget it. Vados shook his head lightly. It's been so long, and I haven't contacted my father for a long time. He may be busy with his own business. Okay, then you can have fun in this world. If you like, you can stay. You are very welcome here. Luo Tien smiled. Can you really stay? Vados was slightly taken aback. Besides, with your strength, you can be regarded as one of the best existences in our world. Luo Tien said with a smile, so if you stay, I can let you take charge of a universe. Can you make me responsible? Vados looked at Luo Tien thoughtfully. Yes, I am the inspector of this world, and I have the qualifications to appoint gods. Luo Tien smiled. Oh, I didn't expect you to be quite high. Vados smiled. No wonder you can open the enchantment. What else do you want to eat? Luo Tien found that the king crab was almost eaten soon. One more king crab, Vados suggested. Do you really not eat abalone? It tastes delicious, Luo Tien said. Don't eat, don't eat. You can't eat that thing. Vados refused decisively. Luo Tien. Afterwards, Luo Tien caught a sea fish from the sea and roasted it on the bonfire for Vados to eat. Vados ate so much that he didn't even want to go back to Angel City. The city of Angel is ruled by so many demons, and they have to flee everywhere after returning. It seems interesting to live in this world called universe. And the crab is so delicious. It's this creature called abalone, which looks a little too much. The food was almost finished. Luo Tien suggested to take Vados around. Where to? Vados asked. I'll take you to the world of gods of destruction. Luo Tien said. Okay. Vados didn't object. Get up. Luo Tien stretched out his hand to Vados. Yeah, Vados nodded slightly, holding hands with Luo Tien. The next moment, Luo Tien turned into a stream of light with Vados, and flew in the direction of the 6th universe. 7th universe. Catstar. Beerus and Champa are guests at General Noir's mansion. Unexpectedly, the two of you really became the gods of destruction of this universe and the 6th universe. General Nova sighed for a while. The rest of the felines are also happy for Beerus and Champa. With such two strong shields, our Catstar will have a backer in the future. Don't be too happy, Master said, we can only help you 3 times. Beerus said, took out a crystal ball and handed it to Nuva. You take this crystal ball. Once you encounter a solution, if there is any problem that can't be solved, I will rush over immediately. But it can only be used 3 times. After 3 times, I will destroy this crystal ball. There are only 3 chances. Nuva smiled bitterly and asked, is it okay for our descendants to use it? Didn't you just say that the lifespan of gods of destruction is infinite? Yes, but I can only save the Catstar 3 times, and you can't go around and invade other people's planets just because I am gods of destruction. Beerus emphasized again, of course, we Catstar people are a peaceful race, and generally speaking not going to invade other people's planets, right? That's right, as long as others don't invade us, our Catstar is still very peaceful. Nuva stepped forward to take the crystal ball and put it away quickly. There may be fewer and fewer chances to meet in the future, especially Champa, who will take office in the 6th universe, and usually has nothing to do and rarely returns to the 7th universe. Beerus continued. Mr. Champa, I will miss you. A beautiful catwoman brought her face to Champa's. Champa's face turned red at that moment. Hey, don't come so close to me. Champa felt a little embarrassed. Gods of destruction is also shy. Catwoman giggled. Gods of destruction used to be human, so of course they would be shy. Champa scratched his head. At this moment, the crystal ball on Champa's body suddenly vibrated. "Huh, is it master?" Champa was taken aback, and immediately took out the crystal ball, covering it slightly with the power of gods of destruction in his hand. Luo Tien's figure gradually emerged from the crystal ball. "Master." Champa saluted immediately. "Master." Beerus also bowed. "Where's on Catstar?" Luo Tien also saw that Champa and Beerus were on Catstar. "Yes, master." Champa and Beerus nodded together. "Champa, you immediately come to the gods of destruction star of the 6th universe." Luo Tien said. "Huh, are you going to take office so early?" Champa was taken aback. "That's right," Luo Tien said. Okay. Champa nodded, feeling a little bit reluctant to part with the people on Cat Planet. "It's not that you won't go back in the future when you are asked to come and take office. You can go back and have a look at the right time." Luo Tien smiled. "I know, master, I'll leave right away." Champa breathed a sigh of relief. "I'll be waiting for you on the planet gods of destruction." After Luo Tien finished speaking, he ended the call. "Yes, master," Champa replied. "Hey, master, what about me? Don't I have to follow?" Beerus was taken aback and asked hastily. "It's just that there is no image on the other side of the crystal ball." "What are you going to do?" "It's the 6th universe, so you don't have to go, I'll go by myself." Champa thought for a while, and said to Beerus, "Our brothers will have a farewell, and I'm afraid there will be fewer chances to meet each other in the future. I will miss you, Beerus." "TCH, don't be so provocative." Beerus snorted. "Mom, Dad, and Big Brother Wu Tato are all in your universe's paradise, go and see them if you have nothing to do." When Champa was leaving, he held Beerus' hand and said, "Of course I will come back to see you when I have time." Quote. "Okay, let's go, don't keep master waiting." Beerus nodded. "Everyone, goodbye." Champa stood up slowly, left the ground, waved goodbye to the clansmen. "I will miss you. Champa, take care, do an excellent gods of destruction." Nova gave Champa a thumbs up. Champa grinned, with a look of reluctance and solemnity, took another deep look at Beerus, and nodded slightly at him. Immediately afterwards, Champa no longer hesitated, the purple-red light on his body flickered, turned into a stream of light, and quickly sank into the sky. Call out. Champa was quickly out of sight. "Then, it's time for me to take my leave too. Get familiar with the work of gods of destruction as soon as possible so that you can work early." Beerus followed suit. "Beerus, come on. I hope that under your leadership, our universe will get better and better." Nuwa said. "Of course, that's for sure, I will become a very good gods of destruction." Beerus smiled. "Don't lose to Champa," Nova said with a smile. "HMPH, no one will lose to him." Beerus smiled. "Take care." Nova said goodbye. "You should be the ones who take care, I have unlimited life, maybe you will be old when I see you next time." Beerus said. Nova, many cat stars. This kid really can't speak. Are you here to show off? Let's go. Beerus no longer had the slightest hesitation, and also turned into a purple streamer, submerged into the starry sky for a moment, and soon disappeared without a trace. 6th Universe, Gods of Destruction Star. After several hours of marching, Luo Tien finally landed on this planet with Vados. Oh my god, this planet is the center of the universe, and it condenses the essence of the universe. If human beings cultivate on this planet, it will achieve twice the result with half the effort. Vados immediately analyzed the planet and quickly came to a conclusion. Luo Tien is also full of emotions in his heart. As expected of the angel family, I simply analyzed it with a broken stick, and then thoroughly studied this planet. Cannot be done. Looks like I'll have to figure out a way to absorb a little more angel power. Angel power is a good thing. If you practice by yourself, you don't know how many years you will have to practice to reach Vados' current level. Take the time to break the enchantment and go to the city of Angel. Is there any bad angel in your angel family? Luo Tien asked suddenly. Vados was stunned, not understanding why Luo Tien would suddenly ask such a question. Why do you ask? Vados asked. Just ask. If there is a broken angel, I'll help you fix it. Luo Tien smiled. Our angel clan are all peace-loving. In fact, there are exceptions. There are very few angels who have become fallen Luo Tien envoys. Vados sighed helplessly. They were defeated, mainly because those fallen angels were influenced by the demons. Are there many fallen Luo Tien angels like this? Luo Tien asked. A lot, there are quite a few. Vados replied. Father doesn't want to kill the clansmen, so after so many years, the demons can be so rampant. 1. I see. I also want to visit your world when I have time. Luo Tien smiled. Don't go there, it's very dangerous. Vados shook his head lightly, immediately changed the subject, and analyzed the planet again. Actually, if this Gods of Destruction star can be streamlined, the speed of cultivation will be faster. Be quick. Oh, how do you say? Luo Tien was taken aback. Do you mind if I change this planet? Vados said, I intend to restore the original appearance of the planet. Okay, just watch and deal with it, I trust you. Luo Tien didn't object. Then I won't be polite. Vados replied, let's go up there. Whoa, whoa, the next moment, Luo Tien and Vados flew above the planet's sky. Snapped. The scepter in Vados' hand pointed at the Gods of Destruction star below, and an angel force quickly covered it. Crack, crack. Suddenly, the entire Gods of Destruction star trembled violently. Immediately afterwards, the land on the Gods of Destruction star fell apart, and large tracts of mountains, rivers and land fell off the planet and flew into the nearby starry sky. The Earth condensed and formed in an instant, turning into satellites, surrounding the planet. Huge lakes also gathered together to form water spheres, which became satellites of the planet. Boom! The planet is still changing its appearance, making a bang. About 10 minutes passed. The entire planet transformed into an inverted triangle. After seeing the Gods of Destruction star in this form, Luo Tien was also a little surprised. It turns out that the real Gods of Destruction world in the 6th universe was created by Vados. No, to be precise, the planet has returned to its original style. Vados restores the entire planet to its original appearance through her own powerful angel power. Look, Luo Tien, this is the original form of this planet, and it is also the core of this planet. Vados smiled. Not bad, it looks like the world of Gods of Destruction. Luo Tien nodded in satisfaction. It's better to set up special barriers around the world of Gods of Destruction, so that some common people can enter at will. This area. That's easy to say, I will make this place unique. Vados responded, releasing the power of Angel again on the scepter in his hand. Another 10 minutes passed. The entire Gods of Destruction world has also gradually changed its appearance. The nearby starry sky has turned purple and red, which looks more sacred. Looking at the past, Luo Tien found that the current Gods of Destruction world basically has the demeanor of the future Gods of Destruction world. Looking at Vados again, she was also sweating profusely. It was obvious that she had consumed a lot of physical strength just after the transformation of the Gods of Destruction world. So, are you satisfied? Vados asked breathlessly. Very good. Luo Tien showed a satisfied smile. Let's go down and have a look, Vados suggested. Don't worry. Luo Tien smiled. If you have time, you can also transform the Gods of Destruction realms of the other 11 universes. Vados. Vados felt that the whole person was not well. Transforming such a Gods of Destruction world has cost me a lot of angel power. Are you trying to drain me? Vados sighed. Look at what you said, you are the only one who squeezes me dry. You said it wrong. Luo Tien replied. Vados. What do you mean? How could I squeeze you dry? Vados was slightly taken aback, a little confused. Forget it, you're still young, let's talk about it later. Luo Tien looked at Vados. Although Vados' actual age is older than Luo Tien. But her image looks like a little girl about 10 years old. It will take another 90 years for her to grow up, which is really a long time. Who are you talking about? Vados pouted. It's obvious that I'm better than you. I'm 18 and you are 10, who do you think is older? Luo Tien said with a smile. Vados was speechless. It's not like you don't know that this age is calculated in a different way. Although I am only 10 years old, but according to your world, I am already 100 years old. By the way, I specially reserved the vast seawater for the Gods of Destruction world, we can eat crabs here. Vados grinned. You, a snack guy. Luo Tien smiled. Look at how well I have transformed the world of Gods of Destruction for you, please treat me quickly. Vados clicked his mouth, and his saliva almost flowed down. Okay, enough crabs, let's go down. Luo Tien didn't object. Whoa, whoa, the two quickly fell to the land of gods of destruction. Luo Tien quickly salvaged a crab from the sea. This time, Luo Tien caught a swimming crab, which was also very fat, nearly 3 meters in size. After all, this kind of movement usually does not eat it, so it looks stronger. No gods of destruction eat such a thing. Because this stuff doesn't look good. It can be said that Luo Tien is also the first person to eat crabs in this Dragon Ball world. It's not the same as before. Vados looked at the swimming crab carefully, and couldn't help but say something. Although the appearance is different, the taste should be similar. You can try it. Luo Tien set up a bonfire and began to grill the big crabs. Huh, Luo Tien, what do you think this is? Vados picked up a 1-meter large oyster from the beach, and brought it to Luo Tien to have a look. Don't you Angel City have a sea? Luo Tien asked with a smile. Yes, but we don't have these messy things in the sea over there. Vados replied. You call oysters a mess? Luo Tien didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and gently lifted the oyster's cover. Suddenly, a shining pearl appeared in front of the two of them. Oh, what kind of gem is this? Vados quickly took the scepter in his hand, analyzed the pearl, and was amazed. Nature is really amazing. I didn't expect this kind of ocean-living things also give birth to such beautiful gems. Isn't it amazing? Much more interesting than your Angel City. Luo Tien smiled, and turned his sick side. Vados looked at the place where Luo Tien was flipping through, and his face turned red at that moment. Ahem, the creatures that grow in our world are too strange. Why do they always look like this? Vados was really speechless. What image? Luo Tien asked knowingly. Nothing, nothing. Vados shook his head vigorously. This food is also delicious, let me bake it for you. Luo Tien suggested. I won't eat it, I won't eat it. Vados quickly refused. I won't eat this kind of thing, it looks so disgusting. If you don't eat it, I'll eat it. Luo Tien had nothing to do with politeness, and put the oysters on the fire to grill. When it was almost done roasting, Luo Tien took a delicious bite. It tastes delicious. The oysters here are really unique. Ahem, is it delicious? Vados wiped his sweat. Well, it's delicious, you can try it. Luo Tien handed it over. I don't want to eat, it looks weird. Primordial. Vados shook his head vigorously. I never thought you would like to eat this kind of food. You will know how delicious it is if you try it. Luo Tien ate very heartily. If some chili and minced garlic are sprinkled on top, and then poured with oil, it will taste even more delicious with some vermicelli. It seems that I have to find a universe to develop the food on Earth if I have time. Otherwise, if you want to eat cumin for barbecue, you have to spend a lot of effort to find it. Vados ended up not eating oysters either. Because Vados thinks that thing looks too weird. Especially the sides of oysters. How do you grow them like that? Thank you, Luo Tien, for eating so happily. 2 days later. Champa finally appeared in the central area of the 6th universe. Boom! Champa bumped into the barrier set up by Luo Tien and Vados, making muffled noises. Champa felt dizzy. What's the situation? Champa scratched his head. I didn't go wrong, did I? I remember I came here, it should be this area, right? What is this? Champa stepped forward and tapped lightly, and found that there seemed to be an invisible barrier covering this area. What happened? Alright, let me see if I can destroy this invisible barrier. Destroy. Champa waved his big hand forward, and a burst of destructive energy quickly covered the barrier. And then, there is no more. The barrier is unharmed. Huh, strange, my destruction can't break through this barrier. Champa froze for a moment. Immediately afterwards, Champa gritted his teeth and increased his strength again. Boom! This time, Champa's fist went right through the barrier. Champa was a little stunned. What is this? My fist can actually go through it. Could it be that my body can also pass through? Champa hesitated for a moment, and immediately entered the barrier. And after coming to the inside of this barrier, Champa saw a purple world. There is an inverted triangle-like planet in the center of Purple Red's world, which looks extremely sacred. What's the situation? Champa felt a burst of surprise, and then without the slightest hesitation, he immediately flew towards the Gods of Destruction world. The next moment, Champa appeared above the Gods of Destruction world, looking down from a high position. Immediately afterwards, Champa saw Master and Vados appearing below at a glance. Huh, there is a strange little girl. Champa was taken aback. Is it Master's girlfriend? This is the first time I have seen such a strange species. Call out. Champa quickly fell from the sky and landed beside Luo Tien and Vados. Master. Champa immediately bowed to Luo Tien. Back. Luo Tien smiled. Master, what's going on with this place? Champa asked with some hesitation. This is the latest Gods of Destruction world I created for you, what do you think? Luo Tien smiled. Ah, is this the latest Gods of Destruction world created by Master? It feels much more sacred than before. It has the style of living in Gods of Destruction. Champa was excited for a while, and thanked him quickly. Oh, what a cute kitten. After seeing Champa, Vados' eyes lit up at that time, and he stepped forward to pat Champa's head. Oh wait. However, although Champa was unhappy, it was not easy to refuse. Little fat cat is so funny. Vados grinned. Champa doesn't want to talk anymore. Who's the fun? You are fun. Your whole family is fun. Oh, I'm so rude. Vados quickly apologized again, and said with a smile, are you the Gods of Destruction Champa of this universe? Master, who is this? Champa asked tentatively. This is Vados, Luo Tien introduced, angel from another world. Another world. Champa was taken aback. That's right, to be exact, Vados doesn't belong to our world. Love nodded. Isn't it Master's girlfriend? Champa asked in a low voice. It's not yet. You didn't see how she was so small, how could she be my girlfriend? Luo Tien said. That's true, mainly because it's the first time I've seen such a strange race, and I don't know what it's like to grow up. Champa chuckled. You two, let's compete. Luo Tien suddenly said to Champa and Vados. Champa was slightly taken aback. Vados also looked at Luo Tien strangely. You let me spar with this cat. You were right, I am very strong. Of course, no problem. Champa regained his spirits immediately. It can be said that Champa has never been defeated since he followed Luo Tien. This made Champa more confident. Okay, let's have a brief discussion. Vados thought for a while, but didn't object. Mainly Vados also wanted to know how strong Gods of Destruction was. If the Gods of Destruction are far stronger than our angels, then this world will not be safe. If you are weaker than us, you can suggest that your father moved to this world to live. The two stood about 10 meters apart, and they were both ready to fight. Okay, start, Luo Tien ordered. Then, I won't be polite. Champa grinned, turned into a purple streamer, and quickly rushed towards Vados' direction. Immediately afterwards, Champa beat Vados. With a slight dodge, Vados easily dodged Champa's attack. Hey hey, Champa quickened the rhythm of the attack, and greeted Vados with fists and feet. However, Vados easily avoided all of Champa's punches. Champa fought for a long time, but didn't touch Vados' body, instead he was so tired that he was wheezing. Boom! With a slight smile, Vados patted Champa's chest with his palm. Champa's body slid backwards quickly, and his feet rubbed against the ground, leaving 2 long marks on the ground. What happened? Why can't I hit her? Champa was stunned. That's because Master Champa has too many extra moves, so don't do unnecessary moves during the battle. Vados smiled. You, what are you talking about? Do I need you to teach me? Champa gritted his teeth in hatred, rushed forward again, and punched him again. Shua. With a light dodge, Vados dodges Champa's attack. Boom. Vados slapped it, hitting Champa on the back of the neck on the spot. Champa felt his brain went blank at that time, and many little stars appeared in front of his eyes. Slap. Champa tilted his head, fell directly to the ground and passed out. All right, Vados smiled. Wonderful, as expected of the angel family, even my apprentice was easily defeated by you. Luo Tien nodded in satisfaction. Hey, thanks for the prize. Vados grinned, he'll be fine, he'll wake up in a while. It's okay, you don't need to care about these. Luo Tien didn't mean to blame Vados. Vados fell silent. What's wrong? Didn't you win? Why do you look a little heavy? Luo Tien asked. Please wait a moment, Vados said, took a closer look with the scepter, and observed the entire universe, and then seemed to have made up his mind, and his expression became even more serious. Is there any problem? Luo Tien asked. I think your world is really good. Can I invite my parents and sisters to live in your world? Vados proposed. Yes, Luo Tien readily agreed. Are you good at speaking? Vados was taken aback and asked. It's okay. Luo Tien smiled slightly. Why don't you take me to see the greatest god in your world first? I want to ask for his opinion, Vados said. I am the greatest god in this world, and I am the inspector of the god realm. Luo Tien smiled. Vados. Really, I can't see it at all. Vados looked up and down at Luo Tien. It's my eyesight. I was thinking about this just now. In fact, the characteristics of your angel family are very suitable for staying in this world. You can stay and manage various universes in this world. Each angel is responsible for managing a universe and lives with gods of destruction. Yes, gods of destruction provides some guidance on combat and some suggestions on universe management. Luo Tien suggested, I think with your help, universe can develop in a better direction. Hey, we thought of going together, and I also found that these universes seem to have some problems. If they are properly guided, they can indeed develop in a better direction. Vados nodded slightly. Then such a happy decision. Luo Tien smiled. Looks like I have to go back. Vados replied, come with me. Okay. Luo Tien did not object. Is it all right to keep your apprentice here? Vados asked again. It's okay, it's safe here for the time being. Luo Tien said. Whoa, whoa. The two of them turned into two streamers of different colors and entered the universe space in an instant. Open the barrier later. I will return to Angel City secretly, and then you close the barrier immediately. Vados suggested, we agreed to see you in 10 days. After 10 days, I have to trouble you to reopen the barrier. I brought my parents and siblings over. Luo Tien nodded and didn't say much. The two soon returned to the location where the vortex was located. I hope there are no demons at the entrance over there. Vados took a deep breath. Open the barrier now, Luo Tien asked. Well, I'm sorry to trouble you, Luo Tien. Vados nodded solemnly. Destroy. With a wave of Luo Tien's hand, a burst of destruction can quickly cover the barrier. Catch, catch. Cracks appeared again at the position of the enchantment. City of Angels. Nowadays, because most of the cities here are occupied by demons, it is also called Devil here. At this moment, it is located on the edge of the demon realm. A short figure quietly appeared in this area. This person is wearing yellow and green clothing, and his face looks a little heavy. If Luo Tien was here, he would definitely be able to recognize this person at a glance. It is the Grand Priest. Grand Priest's eyes flickered, and he looked in the direction of the barrier, showing a little surprise. Snapped. Grand Priest raised his right hand slightly upwards, and a scepter appeared in his hand. Grand Priest held the scepter and searched and probed the area through the crystal ball on the scepter. Strange, Vados disappeared nearby. Grand Priest said to himself, did he go to another world? Call out. At this moment, a little boy came quickly from a distance and appeared in front of the Grand Priest. People, self-gifting. Whis, how's the situation? Did you find anything over there? Grand Priest asked the little boy. No, my Lord Father, my sister's aura has completely disappeared. I searched around and found no whereabouts of my sister. Whis replied. If my guess is correct, your sister probably went to another world. Grand Priest looked in the direction of the barrier. Another world. Whis was slightly taken aback. Is it the world connected by the black vortex? That's right. Grand Priest nodded slightly. Won't that world be a branch of the demon race? Whis' face changed slightly. No. Grand Priest shook his head. That is a world called Universe, and the world is made up of 18 universes. The god in charge of that world is called Zeno. My Lord Father has been to that world. Whis asked in surprise. A long, long time ago, when the demons didn't come to our city of Angel. Grand Priest replied, I also met Zeno at that time. He is indeed a very great god, although his strength is stronger than mine weak. Oh, even a demon god is willing to bow down to Father, let alone Zeno from another world. Whis smiled. You can't be so full of words. Grand Priest smiled. The demon god is actually very powerful, and if I want to kill him completely, it's hard not to fight for more than 10 days and it's hard to tell the winner. Quote. In other words, is the demon god stronger than Zeno in that world over there? Whis sighed. Yes, much stronger. Grand Priest nodded. the Zeno in that world has a very outstanding skill, that is the erasure technique, which can easily erase unnecessary things with a wave of his hand. It's so powerful, it's really amazing. Whis was very surprised. Do you want to invite Zeno to come over and wipe out the demon god? Then our angel city will restore the peace it used to be. Unfortunately, Grand Priest shook his head and sighed. Father, what do you mean? Zeno can't erase the demon god. Whis suddenly came to his senses. Yes, it cannot be erased. Grand Priest nodded. Oh, so Master Zeno doesn't seem to be a big deal. Whis sighed. You can't say that, no matter what, he is also the greatest god in that world. Grand Priest smiled slightly. Let's not talk about this. According to my speculation, your sister is very likely that you have already entered that world. But, the passage to that world is completely closed, can we go there? Whis asked. It's very difficult at the moment. Unless there is a problem with the seal of that world, the entrance on our side will be opened. Grand Priest mused, when I came back from that world, I made a special effort to open the entrance to the world over there. Zeno mentioned that he must seal the barrier over there. At that time, I had a bad feeling, worried that alien races would invade our world and affect their world. Then what shall we do now? Father, Whis asked again. Let's go back. If your sister really went to that world, at least her life won't be in danger for the time being. Grand Priest pondered. Okay, Father. Whis nodded. Just when the two were about to leave. Crack, crack, cracks suddenly appeared in the barrier in front of the Grand Priest. Cracks spread around. Boom. The next moment, the center of the crack exploded on the spot with a muffled sound. Grand Priest and Whis stopped for a while and looked in the direction of the barrier, showing a little surprise. The barrier has been opened. Whis said. Well, it was opened. Grand Priest nodded slightly, looking in the direction of the barrier. Dragon Ball World. Then I'll go first. Vados reminded. Remember, after I pass you immediately seal the barrier and open it after 10 days. I'm still worried, I'll go see you off. Luo Tien suggested. It's okay, I've eaten so much and rested for so long, my angel power has been fully replenished. Vados comforted, even if I meet the elders of the demon race again, I can still recover from it. Escaped from their hands, don't underestimate my ability. I'd better send it off. If there's nothing to do over there, I'll come back immediately to seal the barrier. Luo Tien smiled. Okay, but let's go in later. If there are no demons coming over there, it means that it is safe. Vados pondered. After all, the barrier is on the edge of Angel, and there are very few demons around. Activities near the edge, unless you are full and have nothing to do. What are you trying so hard for? Just go and have a look. Luo Tien had nothing to hesitate, and plunged headlong into Black's vortex. Bah, hey, wait a minute. You are so reckless. Vados was speechless, so he had to follow closely. Whoa, whoa, Luo Tien and Vados entered the Black Vortex together. After entering the Black Vortex, Luo Tien discovered a long passage, at the end of which one could clearly see another world. It flew forward for less than 3 seconds. Snapped. In a flash, it appeared in a vast world. Vados flew over with Luo Tien, and vigilantly looked around to see if there were any demons nearby. The next moment, to Vados' surprise, Vados saw his father and younger brother appearing nearby at a glance. Oh, my lord father, Whis, why are you here? Vados flew over quickly, heaving a sigh of relief. Father is here, it means that this place is not dangerous. Luo Tien also followed in a leisurely manner. Sister, you really went to another world. Whis smiled, and immediately looked at Luo Tien. The Grand Priest first looked at his daughter Vados and was relieved to find that she was safe and sound. Afterwards, the Grand Priest looked at Luo Tien up and down, as if he wanted to see through him. Ah, let me introduce you, this is Luo Tien from another world. Vados hastily introduced. Luo Tien, this is my father, Grand Priest, and my younger brother Whis. Quote. Admiration for a long time. Luo Tien cupped his hands. Vados. Whisper. Grand Priest. Do we know each other? Have you admired it for a long time? Vados also said he was speechless. Can't you say hello with another word? You speak as if you knew my father a long time ago. Father, thanks to Luo Tien, I had a lot of fun in that world, and I also enjoyed the rich food. Vados giggled. the animal called crab is so delicious, it's the one I've ever tasted, the most delicious food ever. Food, really? I want to eat too. Whis clicked his lips. Luo Tien looked towards Whis. Whis is now just the image of a little boy, even shorter than Vados. As for the Grand Priest, there is almost no big difference from what Luo Tien saw in the anime. In the words of Vados, after the Grand Priest grows to a certain age, his appearance and figure will be fixed, and he will remain this way for eternity. Thank you for taking care of my daughter. Grand Priest extended his hand to Luo Tien in a friendly way. Luo Tien stepped forward to hold Grand Priest's hand together, and silently absorbed a trace of his angel's power to study for a while. After this angel power entered Luo Tien's body, Luo Tien found that it was not much different from Vados' angel power. It seems that the reason why Grand Priest is powerful is because his angel power is relatively strong, not because his energy is special. While absorbing the power of angel in Grand Priest, Luo Tien also specially observed Grand Priest's expression. Judging from his expression, Grand Priest should not have sensed that I absorbed his angel power. After all, Luo Tien only absorbed a small amount of angel's power. It is worth mentioning that when Luo Tien encounters new energy, he must absorb a little bit through physical contact before he can turn on the wireless absorption mode. Otherwise it cannot be absorbed. You're welcome. Luo Tien smiled, and let go of Grand Priest. Is Master Zeno from your world all right? Grand Priest asked. You know Lord Zeno of our world? Luo Tien asked. I met once a long time ago. Grand Priest nodded. Mr. Luo Tien, it seems to be a completely unfamiliar face. Judging from your age, it seems that you are not Vados. I am 18 years old this year, Vados is only 10 years old, I am older. Luo Tien replied. Vados. Grand Priest. Is it appropriate for age? After all, age is calculated differently. But the Grand Priest didn't care about that either. Father, I'm coming back to look for you. Vados said. I think Luo Tien's world is very interesting. I even thought, why don't we all move to their world? Just one person is in charge of management one universe. We have 12 angels, one angel manages one universe, the number is just right. 12 universes. Isn't there 18 universes? Grand Priest was slightly taken aback, looked at Luo Days and asked. Ah, Master Zeno erased 6 universes before. Luo Tien answered truthfully. Erased. Vados was also slightly taken aback. Master Zeno, in your world, did you even erase the universe? Yes, with just a wave of your hand, a universe or even all universes will disappear. Luo Tien nodded. It's amazing. Vados sighed. So that's the case. Is it because those 6 universes did something unreasonable, causing your Zeno-sama to erase those 6 universes? Grand Priest asked. The gods of destruction of these 6 universes are vigorously developing their own races, causing the creatures in the universe to complain. Luo Tien replied truthfully. Master Zeno erased these 6 universes in a fit of anger. Except for these 6 in addition to this universe, the gods of destruction of other universes are also developing their own races, so that their own races can dominate the universe. Master Zeno is actually warning other universes by doing this. It's really bad. Let's celebrate the disappearing universe. Grand Priest lamented. Yeah, let's mourn together. Luo Tien nodded approvingly. Grand Priest. Vados. Is your expression of silence serious? Vados, your idea is indeed good, you can learn from it. Grand Priest smiled, and then his face became serious, and the topic changed. However, evasion can't solve any problems. Now the main energy of the demons is to deal with us. If we go to the world of Mr. Luo Tien, the demons will concentrate on finding a way to enter that world. There will always be a way to get in, even if you take the passage of that world, shut it down. AGFD, Vados dropped his head and fell silent. Then wipe out the demons so that they don't dare to enter our world again. Luo Tien continued from the side. Grand Priest sighed slightly. The young man's tone is really loud. After so many years, I have no way to completely eradicate the demons. You are quite confident. By the way, Father, this Luo Tien claims to be the God Realm Inspector of their world, and his God position is equal to that of Master Zeno. Vados whispered in Grand Priest's ear. Really, when did the world called universe have more gods like this? Grand Priest was slightly taken aback. I remember the earliest time, Zeno planned to set up a god of gods of destruction. Father. Daughter, we really not going to Luo Tien's world? That world is really good. Vados asked again. You can go with your brothers and sisters first, I will go there after I go to the demon race, Grand Priest pondered. How about that, we have to stay and fight side by side with father. Whis was the first to refuse. If my sister wants to go, you can go first. Oh, I said it as if I was greedy for life and afraid of death. Vados was not angry, and said something with a smile. Hurry up, the demon god seems to be here. Grand Priest's complexion changed again and again, and he suddenly said in a deep voice, and made arrangements for Luo Tien. Luo Tien, please go back immediately. And put the seal over there close. It should be the devil coming. I didn't expect him to find me so soon. Luo Tien didn't move, but let go of the censer silently. Sure enough, Luo Tien clearly sensed an extremely huge magic power, which was moving towards this direction at high speed. This person's magical power is boundless, with endless power on his body, and it is estimated that he will arrive at the scene in 10 seconds. Luo Tien's eyes lit up. Can I beat the Grand Priest now? It might work, but it feels a bit difficult to defeat him within dozens of rounds. But if I absorb the magic power in that demon god's body, I can definitely beat Grand Priest into a life of doubt. Take a look first, see what the devil looks like. I was about to find you, but you actually ran to the door by yourself. You came here to let me absorb it, right? Mr. Luo Tien must have been frightened out of his wits. Whis sighed. Let's take him and hurry. Vados suggested. It's too late, the best way is to take Mr. Luo Tien back to their world and quickly repair the seal over there. Grand Priest made a prompt decision. I want to stay and fight side by side with my father. Whis waved the scepter in his hand, ready to face the battle. When you have the ability to stand alone, fight with me again. Grand Priest said, waving lightly at Whis through the air. A powerful force acted on Whis at that moment. Boom. Whis' body flew into that vortex uncontrollably. Vados, quickly take Mr. Luo Tien away. Grand Priest ordered. Yes, father. Vados nodded solemnly, stepped forward and took Luo Tien's hand. I'm going to take him out of here. Vados, you go in, I will stay and fight with your father, maybe I will be effective. Luo Tien smiled. And after saying this sentence, boom, more and more powerful destructive energy suddenly emerged from Luo Tien's body. The endless aura spread around Luo Tien as the center. And after sensing Luo Tien's powerful aura, Grand Priest's eyes widened, showing shock on his face. Oh, it's amazing. Grand Priest was deeply surprised. I didn't expect Mr. Luo Tien to be so powerful, I underestimated your strength. Vados, this guy can really pretend. I thought your level was average. You have so much energy in you. Then trouble Mr. Luo Tien. Grand Priest nodded lightly. It's enough for Mr. Luo Tien to assist me later. The two of us work together, maybe we can defeat the demon god today. Yeah, Luo Tien nodded. Vados, go to Mr. Luo Tien's world to hide for a while. Grand Priest suggested, the battle will be fierce after a while. Okay, father. Vados no longer hesitated, and immediately turned into a stream of light, quickly submerging into the vortex of that black. Shua. Vados disappeared. At the moment when Vados had just left, a black shadow roared from afar. Snapped. A black shadow appeared in front of Luo Tien and Grand Priest. Luo Tien looked towards the black shadow immediately, and was greatly disappointed at that time. Devil God. Luo Tien turned to ask Grand Priest. Yes. Grand Priest nodded slightly. I thought the demon god looked so strange, it really disappointed me. Luo Tien shook his head helplessly. The reason for saying this is because Luo Tien found that the god looks almost exactly the same as Dapula. The faces of other members of the demon race are all black. This guy's face is red. Because the face is red, there is hardly any difference from Dabra. What the hell are you? You grow up to look like Dapra, which makes me play a little bit. But you are hundreds of millions of times stronger than Dabra. And also has the strength not inferior to the Grand Priest. Are you saying I can't play? Dabura, which will appear hundreds of millions of years later, is also at the level of Super Saiyan 2. No, it's not as good as Super Shinya 2. It turns out that now you can actually compete with the Grand Priest. Oh, alien race. The demon god had noticed Luo Tien a long time ago, and now he was looking up and down at him, his eyes narrowed slightly. Dabra, what are you doing here? Luo Tien shouted. Demon god, who is Dabra? Grand Priest also turned to look at Luo Tien. What are you talking about? Has that passage been opened? You came from another world, right? Demon god looked at Luo Tien with a smile. Immediately afterwards, the demon god discovered that the passage over there was slowly closing. Is this channel being repaired over there? The demon god immediately came to his senses, and without the slightest hesitation, he waved 10 powerful energy emperors across the air to cover the defense of the channel. Shua, the Grand Priest was even faster, and with a single movement, he quickly appeared in front of the passage. Boom! Grand Priest waved his hand lightly, and directly sent this powerful energy flying. Luo Tien dodged a little, appeared near the energy, and grabbed the flying energy with his hand. Snapped. Luo Tien pinched it hard, directly deforming this mass of black energy. Ah! The next moment, this group of black's energy directly entered Luo Tien's body, and disappeared all of a sudden. What? Absorbed. The demon god was slightly taken aback, and looked at Luo Tien in surprise. Can you absorb my magic power? Yes, that's right. Luo Tien nodded. The Grand Priest was also a little surprised to see look at Luo Tien. It turns out that this kid's special ability is to absorb the opponent's energy. No wonder you look so confident. But you showed your special ability so early, isn't it a bit sloppy? Only when it is shown at a critical moment can the opponent be caught off guard. Before the battle, let me confirm a few things with you. Although these things are already settled, I still want to hear you say it from your mouth. Luo Tien said to the demon god. Tell me. The demon god was taken aback for a moment, unable to understand what Luo Tien was going to ask. This world was originally called Angel City, where Angel lived. The Angel family loves peace. Am I right? Luo Tien said. It can be understood in this way, that's right. Demon god nodded. Grand Priest showed a look of confusion. What exactly do you want to ask? Later, you demons came from another world, broke the peace of the angels, and occupied several of their large cities. Luo Tien asked again. Yes, the demon god nodded again. Then the question is, what about your demon world? Why do you have to go to someone else's world to mess around? Luo Tien asked. The world of the demons has been destroyed due to successive years of fighting. The demon god sighed helplessly, and the real resources of the demon world have been exhausted, so we have no choice but to enter other worlds to rob their resources. I see. Luo Tien nodded. Sure enough, I didn't help the wrong person. Young man, do you really think that you can challenge me because you can absorb magic power? The demon god smiled lightly. After all, you are too young. Quote. I'm not young, I'm already 18. Luo Tien shouted. Demon god. Grand Priest. The two great gods were completely speechless. You are only 18 years old, how dare you say it? Do you know how old we are? We have all lived for nearly 1 billion years. See you next time. The demon god no longer paid attention to Luo Tien, but looked at Grand Priest with a smile. It's been a long time indeed. Grand Priest nodded. This time you appear in this area, can you fight with confidence? The demon god smiled lightly, and you look quite confident. Has your strength improved? Yes, there is a slight improvement, but not much. Grand Priest shook his head. You know, when we have cultivated to our age, the future improvement will be very limited. 11. Of course. The demon god nodded. You're right, this area is indeed relatively open, suitable for the two of us to fight. Grand Priest looked at the demon god with a smile. Then, let me have fun with you today. The demon god sneered. Happy to accompany you. Grand Priest waved at the demon god, which meant that he could attack. But before the battle, I prefer to twist other people's necks to sacrifice the flag. The demon god said, turning into a black shadow and appearing behind Luo Tien in an instant. The demon god's speed was really too fast, and within the blink of an eye, he had already fallen behind Luo Tien. Immediately afterwards, the demon god suddenly stretched out his big hand, and the big hand moved towards Luo Tien's neck and grabbed it. The demon god will not let Luo Tien go. This kid absorbed my magic power silently, it's no wonder I let you go. I'm going to break your neck. Who let you watch the fun here? Is this a place where a little god like you can stay? Not good. Be careful. Grand Priest's face changed color, and he hurriedly shouted, and rushed up immediately as soon as he moved. It's just that the demon god's speed was even faster, and he had already pinched Luo Tien's neck. However, at the moment when the demon god's hand came into contact with Luo Tien's body, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. The demon god was surprised to find that he had caught an empty one. The next moment, the demon god's eyes widened, and he suddenly saw that the person he was holding had turned into a phantom. The phantom gradually disintegrated. What? Remnant image fist. The demon god was stunned. You know quite a lot, even the afterimage fist. Luo Tien's voice sounded behind the demon god. The demon god mechanically turned his head and looked at Luo Tien with some surprise. Grand Priest also froze for a moment. This kid is pretty fast. In such a short time, he used the afterimage fist, easily dodged the attack of the demon god, and even moved himself behind the demon god. Stronger than I imagined. I have already decided, I will beat you to death one by one. Luo Tien's face darkened, and he squinted his eyes to look at the demon god. What did you say? Do you know who you are talking to? The demon god was stunned at the time. Do you really think that you can defeat me by dodging my attack? Grand Priest, don't make a move yet, let me go first. Luo Tien greeted Grand Priest. Grand Priest hesitated briefly for 3 seconds. Okay, Mr. Luo Tien. Grand Priest finally nodded in agreement. Let's see if he makes a move first. If his strength is indeed very strong, I will assist him from the side. Maybe it is really possible to seriously injure the vitality of the demon god today. Brave boy, go to hell. The demon god snorted coldly, put his index and middle fingers together, and swung Luo Tien across the air. Call out. A streak of black energy roared towards Luo Tien's direction. Snapped. Luo Tien raised his hand lightly, directly caught the flying black energy with his own hand, and absorbed it into his body. Thank you. Luo Tien grinned. Devil. Careless. Absorbed by this kid again. Hateful. Call out. The demon god was furious at that time, turned into a stream of black light, and appeared in front of Luo Tien in an instant. Boom! The demon god's fist greeted Luo Tien with a punch. This time Luo Tien didn't directly activate the energy absorption mode. Luo Tien felt that this time might be the last serious battle in his life. If you miss this opportunity, it may be very difficult to find someone to compete with each other in the future. After all, the strength of this demon god is not much different from Grand Priest. If you suck him up directly, you really have no opponent. At most it's nothing to bully Grand Priest play. Fight with the demon god first, and experience the thrill of fighting. Bang bang bang. Luo Tien soon fought against the demon god. This time Luo Tien used the power of destruction. Pure destructive power, no other power was used. In just a split second, Luo Tien fought against the demon god for thousands of rounds. The speed was so fast that it left a phantom in this space. Only a muffled sound could be heard from time to time in the space. Grand Priest was stunned. This kid is so strong. It is much stronger than I imagined, and it can be equal to the demon god. The demon god was also extremely shocked, and his face changed again and again. The people in that world are really strong enough. It is actually very difficult for me to defeat him in a short time. If only the Grand Priest got involved. I'm afraid I will be seriously injured today. No, I have to use my big move. I'm going to get this kid seriously injured before the Grand Priest gets involved. Otherwise I will be very passive. Snapped. The demon god faltered, dodging Luo Tien's attack. Immediately afterwards, demon god punched fiercely, hitting Luo Tien's chest on the spot. Luo Tien's body flew backwards. Shua. The demon god followed up and appeared right above where Luo Tien was in an instant. Boom. The demon god kicked upside down with a golden hook, and kicked Luo Tien on the shoulder. Boom. Luo Tien plunged headlong into the ground below, leaving a huge crater on the ground. Boom boom boom. The demon god no longer hesitated, and waved his big hand down through the air, spraying out a black energy crystal bullet continuously from his hand. Black's energy bomb instantly covered Luo Tien's body. There was a big explosion at the scene, rolling up layers of thick smoke. Dead. The demon god hovered above the sky, and looked at Grand Priest with a smile. Grand Priest's complexion changed again and again, but he didn't expect Luo Tien to lose so quickly. Even if he didn't die, at least he was seriously injured. The demon god said with a smile. Grand Priest took a deep breath. I was a little careless just now. If I take the opportunity to join hands with Mr. Luo Tien, maybe the demon god has been seriously injured by now. What a pity. Grand Priest, now it's time for the two of us to fight. The demon god looked at Grand Priest with a smile. Grand Priest didn't say much, and was already ready to fight. Just when the two were about to start fighting, Shua. With a movement of Luo Tien's figure, he quickly appeared opposite the demon god. Luo Tien patted the dust off his body, with a faint smile on his face. What? The demon god's face became less calm. Why is this guy acting like a normal person? I just used a lot of magic power. Didn't this hurt him badly? That hit just now was not bad. Luo Tien smiled and said, it's much stronger than I imagined. Demon god. The Grand Priest also froze. This kid suffered so much damage and didn't get hurt. As expected of a demon god. Luo Tien smiled slightly. I'm tired of this battle. Today I will let you see my true strength. You. What are you talking about? Are you saying that you haven't shown your real strength yet? The demon god froze for a moment. Chapter 91. Yeah. Luo Tien nodded. I'll just show you one more time. I hope you don't get scared. What do you mean? The demon god was taken aback. What do you want to demonstrate? Grand Priest also looked at Luo Tien with flickering eyes, not knowing what he wanted to do. Have you heard of transformation? Luo Tien smiled. What transformation? The demon god couldn't understand. Look, it's normal for me to look like this now, which is the most basic state of mind. Luo Tien smiled. What on earth do you want to do? The demon god frowned. Snapped. Gold rays of light bloomed on Luo Tien's body, and his hair stood up high, already turning golden yellow. This is the transformation of Super Saiyan. Luo Tien said with a smile. What? The demon god's eyes widened at that time, showing a face of astonishment, and a lot of cold sweat broke out on his face. This is not as simple as a gleam. Yes, you guessed it right, my transformation will increase my strength by 50 times. Luo Tien smiled. What did you say? 50 times. The demon god trembled in fright at the time, his face became as ugly as possible, the corners of his mouth twitched, and he said in a deep voice, impossible, this is absolutely impossible. There is not much difference in strength between you and me, not to mention 50 times, even if you improve by 5 times, I still can't stand. 430. You have increased by 50 times all of a sudden, are you kidding me? Grand Priest's eyes flickered even more, revealing endless shock. Can this boy transform? Don't worry, there will be more later. Luo Tien grinned. What? The demon god froze. What's next? What do you mean? Can you change again? Snapped. More intense gold rays of light emerged from Luo Tien's body again. Chila. A series of purple arcs wrapped around his body, making crackling noises. At the same time, Luo Tien's hair stood up even more. This is Super Saiyan 2. Luo Tien smiled, the strength is 100 times the normal one. The demon god stopped talking, and his face was extremely ugly. The Grand Priest was also completely stunned. You just increased 50 times and it is already abnormal, do you know that? As a result, you now have another transformation, and your strength has increased to 100 times the normal one. Are you human? Don't worry, there's more to come. Luo Tien grinned, showing a mouthful of white teeth. The next thing is even more powerful. Ah! Luo Tien let out a symbolic cry. His hair grew rapidly backwards, and soon his hair grew past his waist. Boom! Huge energy crazily surged out from Luo Tien's body, and the entire Angel City shook violently. This is the even more powerful Super Saiyan 3. Lightning wrapped around Luo Tien's body, as if turning into a little golden man. The golden light was extremely dazzling. The demon god was frightened. The Grand Priest was completely flabbergasted. This transformation, the strength is 400 times of the normal. Luo Tien smiled and said, surprised or surprised? Devil. Grand Priest, you are not a surprise, you are frightened. I'm almost scared to death by you. Saiyan, who is Saiyan? The demon god finally caught such a useful piece of information. Choose a random name, you don't need to care about these details. Luo Tien replied. The demon god didn't want to talk anymore. There was a brief silence. It's groundless nonsense. The demon god laughed ferociously. What 100 times and 50 times? What 400 times? It's all nonsense. Boom. Once again, more and more powerful black energy emerged from the demon god. Call out. The demon god uttered a cry, turned into a black light, and punched Luo Tien in the direction. Snapped. Luo Tien just stretched out a finger lightly, and easily blocked the attack of the demon god. The demon god's fist hit Luo Tien's finger, as if hitting the endless void, and could no longer move forward. What? Is this your attack? It doesn't seem to be a big deal. Luo Tien chuckled lightly. What? This? How is this possible? The demon god was dumbfounded. I hit with all my strength, and just let him block it with a single finger. Impossible. Not like this. It's not like this. The demon god's eyes widened, and his expression changed again and again. Is it time for me to attack now? Luo Tien smiled lightly, stretched out his fingers and aimed at the forehead of the demon god. The demon god's pupils shrank sharply. Boom. With a snap of his fingers, Luo Tien flicked a brain on the demon god's head. Accompanied by an earth-shattering loud noise, the demon god's body flew backwards uncontrollably at that time, and his body rolled rapidly in the air. The demon god's body rolled over 100 somersaults, and then plunged headlong into the ground. The next moment, the demon god's body continued to roll on the ground. When the demon god's rolling calmed down, the demon god's head tilted and he almost fainted. The demon god knew that he couldn't faint yet. If you fainted, it would be completely over. Snapped. Gritting his teeth, the demon god got up from the ground, and quickly pulled out a black sphere. Hey! The demon god waved his hand and threw the black sphere towards Luo Tien. Be careful, that's the heart of darkness. Grand Priest exclaimed, it can make your mind lose control for a short time. Luo Tien was slightly taken aback. Heart of darkness again. The big gods of destruction used this on Zeno once. Did not expect this world also has. But that's okay. Shua. Luo Tien lightly waved his hand, erase Nang Huang instantly covered the past. In the blink of an eye, the dark star that flew over disappeared mysteriously. What? The demon god was dumbfounded. Where is my heart of darkness? Why is it missing? How did he do that? But at this moment, the demon god had no time to think about it. The demon god's body shook violently, and his whole body quickly turned into black spots of light. I'll be back, the demon god shouted, and his body was instantly torn apart. In the blink of an eye, the demon god transformed into countless black light spots, and these light spots flew towards all directions at high speed. Incarnation. He transforms himself into countless magical powers. As long as you escape from a black spot, you can retreat. Grand Priest's face became more and more solemn, and without any hesitation, he immediately raised his hand's high scepter. Give me strength. Luo Tien shouted loudly. Quote ? Quote. I shouted for you. Luo Tien added. Quote. Grand Priest is completely speechless. Can we stop joking at this crucial moment? Didn't you see that the demon god is about to run away? After finally beating the demon god like this, and letting him run away, it is a bit unreasonable. Grand Priest raised the scepter in his hand high, and the power of angel quickly emerged among the people. The power of these angels also turned into bright rays of light, and they quickly chased after those black spots. Suddenly, the sky seemed to be setting off fireworks, which was very beautiful. Luo Tien had nothing to be polite, and directly activated the energy absorption mode. Can you still run? Now Luo Tien's energy absorption mode can reach a distance of 1,000 light-years from Fang Yuan. After all, Luo Tien absorbed too much energy this time. Therefore, the distance for Luo Tien to absorb energy through space is getting farther and farther, reaching a distance of 1,000 light-years. No matter how fast you run, can you travel 1,000 light-years in an instant? The demon god turned into countless black spots and fled in all directions. It's just that these black dots of the demon god ran and suddenly couldn't run anymore, and the magic power on his body was completely absorbed by Luo Tien. Not only that, Luo Tien also sucked the angel power released by the Grand Priest into his body. So much angel power, don't waste it. What a pity to waste it. The power of Angel is a good thing. There are so many things that can be done. And the power of Angel also has the ability to heal. In less than 10 seconds, all the flying black spots were absorbed by Luo Tien. Immediately, black light flickered all over Luo Tien's body, and even black threads appeared in his pupils. Grand Priest was stunned and turned pale. Mr. Luo Tien, have you absorbed all the magic power of the demon god? Grand Priest was astonished, and hurriedly asked, hurry up and digest the magic power, or you will be eaten back by him. Backlash. What are you thinking? Luo Tien smiled, and the purple-red energy on his body exploded. Boom. The powerful purple energy suppressed these magical powers at that time. Originally, these magical powers had to be emitted from Luo Tien's body. It's just that when the power of destruction and the power of erasure were raised by Luo Tien, these anger immediately dissipated. No, to be precise, it was suppressed by these two special energies. In less than a few seconds, all the magic power of the demon god gathered in Luo Tien's body. Now, there is another mass of black energy in Luo Tien's body. The demon god is really strong. Just absorbing the demon god and his two elders, the magic power in Luotian's body is already close to the size of Po Zili. In addition, Luo Tien also absorbed a small part of the angel power of the Grand Priest. Just a small part of it. After all, the power of angel released by the Grand Priest is not too much. The demon is dead. The demon god never thought that he would die in such a way. The demon god turned himself into countless black dots, intending to flee from the scene. As a result, these black spots were completely absorbed by Luo Tien as energy. Call. This time, Luo Tien's magic power directly absorbed the magic power to saturation. Puff. Luo Tien spit out a mouthful of turbid air, and there were traces of black lines in the turbid air. This is a little mana after saturation, just like that was spit out by Luo Tien. Snapped. Luo Tien waved his hand lightly, and directly scattered this bit of magic power. This is the absorbed magic power, which has completely changed its nature. Naturally, it cannot be the incarnation of the demon god. Because the demon god had already been sucked to death by Luo Tien. The gods of a generation of demons, just under the absorption of Luo Tien, can't die anymore. Grand Priest was completely dumbfounded, and didn't come back to his senses for a long time. The demon god is dead. Luo Tien smiled. Grand Priest, now you can follow me to my world to develop. Grand Priest was speechless, not knowing what to say. You went to my world, you assisted Zeno to develop the universe well, I think you did a better job than me. Luo Tien said with a smile. Grand Priest didn't say a word, mainly because he was too surprised, and he still hasn't recovered. The demon god who has fought against tens of thousands of years is too random to die today. In my world, how about I make you the great steward of the gods? Luo Tien made an invitation. So, what about you? Grand Priest stuttered. I'm still the inspector of the god realm. You are in charge of monitoring the entire universe. Luo Tien pondered. Only in this way can our world develop better. May I think about it? Grand Priest thought for a while and replied. Okay, then you think about it slowly, I'll take a look around your city of Angel first. Luo Tien nodded. By the way, help you eliminate some demons, I don't think you can solve the matter on your side, or you don't worry about going to my world. Call out. After Luo Tien finished speaking, it turned into a purple streamer, and disappeared in the same place in an instant. Wait a minute. Grand Priest's face changed color. Don't destroy the city. Don't worry, I just wiped out some demons, why destroy the city? Luo Tien's voice came back. Grand Priest remained silent, mainly because he hadn't completely recovered from the shock. Crack, crack. At this moment, cracks appeared again in the barrier not far away. The barrier was opened again. Because the battle just now was too fierce, the barrier that Vados and Whis had finally repaired on the other side had cracks of varying degrees. Grand Priest glanced over there, then said nothing more, and fell into the barrier for a moment. Dragon Ball World. Whis and Vados saw the cracks getting bigger and bigger, and their expressions changed again and again. Sister, why is it getting bigger and bigger? Whis was troubled for a while. It can only show that the battle over there is too fierce. Vados smiled wryly. We will work harder to repair that seal. Otherwise, if the demon god breaks in, this world will probably suffer from the demons just like our city of Angel. Invasion. Understood, sister. Whis nodded solemnly, releasing the power of Angel continuously from the scepter in his hand. Vados is also releasing the power of Angel. The angel power of the two quickly acted on the broken seal. And the broken seal is also being repaired bit by bit. It's done, now it's possible to fix it. Whis said excitedly. Is the battle over? They're already over. Vados guessed, it may also be that the battle line has been drawn elsewhere. I don't know if my lord father won. Whis looked worried. Don't worry, father is very strong. Vados comforted, it is impossible for the demon god to be the opponent of father. You're right, sister. Whis nodded. Let's fix the seal quickly. Vados said. Yes, Whis replied. Call out. However, just as the two continued to repair the seal, a ray of light suddenly flashed past, appearing in this starry sky from another world. And after seeing the person who appeared, both Whis and Vados showed expressions of surprise. Father. Whis and Vados hurried forward to salute. It's been a long time since I've been to this world, and this world called universe is really unique. Grand Priest looked around the starry sky with a faint smile on his face. Whis froze for a moment. Vados is also a little confused. Where is the devil? Is this the end? And, what about Luo Tien? How is he? Won't be killed. You said Luo Tien and you too, you insist on watching the fun there. Is that level of fighting you can watch? Father, where is the demon god? Vados hurriedly stepped forward and asked. The demon god is already dead. Grand Priest sighed helplessly. Vados' beautiful eyes widened, showing disbelief on his face. Whis was also shocked, thinking he had heard wrong, and even scratched his head. Where's Luo Tien? Vados asked hastily. Hey. Grand Priest let out another sigh. Luo Tien, he won't perish with the demon god, right? Vados felt inexplicable sadness. Oh, he is so brave. He actually died with the demon god. Whis endless emotion. No, what nonsense are you two talking about? Grand Priest was taken aback. Why did the tempo make you feel crooked? Who said Luo Tien and the demon god died together? Ahem. Mr. Luo Tien successfully killed the demon god, he is a very remarkable god. Grand Priest sighed. Vados widened her beautiful eyes again, showing endless surprise. Whis pricked up his ears and looked at his father in disbelief. Demon god was killed by Luo Tien. Vados murmured. Yes, it's easy to kill. Grand Priest smiled wryly, I really didn't expect such a powerful person to be born in this world. Luo Tien is so strong. Vados couldn't believe this fact. Oh, this is really amazing. Whis was very surprised. 10 seconds later. What's next, father? Vados asked. Mr. Luo Tien invited me to manage their world and let me become the great steward of the gods. I haven't made up my mind yet. Grand Priest pondered. Father, you might as well investigate this world carefully. I think what Luo Tien said is very good. In fact, there is still a need to stay in this world. Vados suggested that when he said this, he suddenly thought of something and asked quickly, by the way, where's Luo Tien? Didn't you come back with my lord father? He said he was going to visit our world. Grand Priest replied. He was indeed more interested in our world, and he asked some questions, which I answered truthfully, Vados explained. Oh, what did Mr. Luo Tien ask? Grand Priest was slightly taken aback. He asked how many fallen Luo Tien envoys do we have? Vados replied. Oh, some angels have indeed fallen, otherwise father would have defeated the demon god long ago, right? Whis sighed. Even an angel can make mistakes sometimes. Grand Priest nodded lightly, then took out the scepter and began to investigate the world. About 10 minutes passed. This is indeed a very good world. Judging from the current situation, in this world, even the two of you, Whis and Vados, have extremely powerful strength. Grand Priest pondered, besides, this world has not yet being polluted as more suitable for angels' growth, and the possibility of becoming a fallen angel is very low. Quote, I have fought against a gods of destruction in this world, he is not as good as me. Vados smiled proudly, and he is also a disciple of Luo Tien. Really, even Mr. Luo Tien's disciples are not your opponents. Grand Priest sighed. Father, why don't we all stay here? Vados suggested. Father, we have 6 children from our brothers, 4 adopted sons, and 2 adopted daughters. There are exactly 12 angels, and 1 angel is in charge of a universe, which is just right. The Grand Priest took a deep look at Vados. Vados smiled sheepishly. Are you in love with the delicacies of this world? Grand Priest smiled. He 440 I was spotted by my Lord Father. Vados grinned. Sister, if we stay, you must take me to eat delicious food. Whis said quickly. Of course, I invite you to eat crab, it's delicious. Vados nodded. If that's the case, then it's such a happy decision. Grand Priest is not a god of indecision, but finally made up his mind and decided to stay in this world. Really, Father, do you really decide to stay? Vados was very pleasantly surprised. Yes, changing the environment for you to grow up may have a better development for you. Grand Priest made up his mind, let's go back to Angel City and say goodbye to other angels. Just repair this seal and completely separate it from that side. City of Angels. Luo Tien flew into the sky, suspended above the sky, looking down at the luxurious city below. The architectural style of Angel City is a bit like castles. There are angels living in the castle. However, Luo Tien clearly discovered that many angels have black's energy entangled on their bodies. Luo Tien took a closer look, and found that the energy of these blacks is magic power. And these angels are probably the fallen Luo Tien envoys that Vados said. That is to say, these angels have been enchanted and turned into evil angels. Sure enough, Luo Tien observed for a while, and saw that one of the dark angels had already cornered a beautiful female angel, as if he was going to do something excessive. Luo Tien took a closer look, and suddenly found that the female angel looked a little familiar. This female angel, isn't Kessie? Luo Tien clearly remembered that Kessie was Grand Priest's eldest daughter, and also the oldest of Grand Priest's children. The current Kessie is already long-formed, almost not much different from what Luo Tien saw in the anime. The only difference is that it becomes more three-dimensional. Opposite Kessie is an ugly male angel. This male angel has black silk thread wrapped around his body, with evil in his eyes. Kes, you just follow me today. Dark Angel looked at Kes with a smile. Zakra, you've become a demon. Kessie said in a deep voice, why have you become a fallen Luo Tien messenger? HMPH, stop talking nonsense, what I want to become is my freedom. You clearly know that I have liked you for a long time, but you just ignore me. Dark Angel said a little angrily, today I will bring you home. I've furnished the room for you. Kessie shook his head helplessly. Then, let's start this beautiful journey. The Dark Angel said, and rushed towards Kessie. Shua, Kessie dodged to avoid the Dark Angel's attack. Immediately afterwards, Kessie turned into a streamer as bright as a star, and quickly flew into the sky. Flying and flying, Kessie suddenly saw Luo Tien appearing not far away. Huh, people from another world. Kessie was taken aback. Call out. However, the Dark Angel Zakra was also very fast, and immediately roared towards Kessie. Be careful, get out of the way. Friends from another world, Kessie exclaimed, and reminded Luo Tien in a friendly manner. Luo Tien didn't dodge, and stretched out his big hand directly from the air, aiming at Zakra who rushed up. People from another world. Zakra was also slightly taken aback, and looked at Luo Tien in surprise. HMPH, dare to come to Angel City to die. Saying that, the scepter in Zakra's hand didn't hesitate at all. While flying, he swung it fiercely towards Luo Tien. Snapped. Luo Tien gently stretched out a finger, directly resisting Zakra's scepter attack. Immediately afterwards, Luo Tien didn't have anything to be polite, and directly turned on the energy absorption mode. Suddenly, Zakra clearly felt that the power of Angel in his body was rapidly disintegrating. What's the situation? Zakra exclaimed, his face changing again and again. The next moment, Zakra didn't hesitate at all, and immediately turned and fled. Because of Zakra's tragic discovery, the angel power in his body dissipated faster and faster. If it continues at this speed, my angel power will completely disappear within 10 seconds. Zak is running fast. However, when Zakla ran out for about 1,000 meters, he couldn't run anymore. Luo Tien didn't have any mercy, and directly sucked this guy to death. You are good at talking. Did I come here to die? I came here to absorb the power of your angel. After absorbing Zakra's angel power, Luo Tien silently felt the strength of the angel's experience in his body. Well, it has increased quite a bit. However, among these angel powers, there is still some magic power mixed in. But that's okay. Luo Tien easily separated these magic powers. After all, magic power exists in Luo Tien's body, but it's already saturated. Snapped. Luo Tien condensed the separated magic power into the palm of his right hand. Erase, backquote. The flame in Luo Tien's hand flashed, directly erasing the separated magic power. Boom. The next moment, I saw that the body of Zakra, who had been sucked dry, immediately lost his balance. He fell from the air at that time and hit a castle below. Blue's blood was flowing from Zakra's body, and he was already dead and couldn't die anymore. Cassie was stunned. People from this different world are so fierce. I didn't see how he made the shot, and Carrot died just like that. Below, many angels were shocked after seeing such a scene. Even, many fallen angels reacted immediately, looked up at the sky, and looked at Luo Tien floating in the sky. You, which world are you from? Cassie stared vigilantly at Luo Tien opposite. Are you the daughter of the Grand Priest? Luo Tien didn't answer, but asked with a smile. You know my father? Cassie was slightly taken aback. That's right, my name is Luo Tien. Luo Tien smiled. Your city of angels is really a mess. There are no demons here, but you are attacked by magic power everywhere. Yes, the magic power of the demon race has a great influence on our angel family. Many angels have become fallen angels due to the influence of magic power. KC sighed, showing helplessness on her face. Shish. Just as they were talking, more than a dozen fallen Luo Tien angels quickly flew into the sky, surrounding Luo Tien and Cassie. Cass, you are so brave, you dare to join forces with people from another world to deal with our angel family. A fallen angel headed by him shouted loudly. Mr. Luo Tien, let's get out of here quickly. Without the slightest hesitation, Cassie immediately stepped forward to grab Luo Tien's hand, and lightly waved the scepter in her hand. Snapped. An invisible angel power quickly covered the bodies of many fallen Luo Tien angels present. The bodies of these fallen angels trembled suddenly, and they were temporarily frozen. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Cassie pulled Luo Tien into the sky, broke away from their encirclement, and flew towards a distant direction at high speed. Chasing. Don't let him run away. The fallen Luo Tien envoy, the leader, roared angrily, and immediately chased after him with his companions. It's just that after chasing and chasing, these fallen Luo Tien angels suddenly realized that something was wrong. It's strange, have you found a very strange phenomenon? Angel asked. What phenomenon? I feel like my angel power is dissipating rapidly. I'm feeling it too. What the hell happened? Is someone absorbing the power of our angel? The dozen or so fallen Luo Tiens present made their complexions look ugly. So far, how dare the dozen or so fallen Luo Tien angels continue to chase? They hurriedly stopped in the air. However, even if the dozen or so fallen Luo Tien envoys have stopped, it still cannot stop the tendency of the angel's power to dissipate rapidly. Not good. My angel's power is still dissipating, how about you? Luo Tien, who was the leader, made his expression change again and again. So are we. The rest of the fallen Luo Tien envoys were scared out of their wits. Could it be that just now Zakla, he died because Angel's power completely disappeared? Angel suddenly came back to his senses. It should be the ghost of that person from another world. Quick, get out of here quickly. More than a dozen fallen angels hurriedly fled in all directions. However, it was too late. Where to escape? Can you travel 1,000 light years away in 10 seconds? Unless it's flying at full capacity at peak condition. Mainly when you are flying, Luo Tien is also absorbing your angel power. Your speed will get slower and slower. Crack, crack, crack. The next moment, the dozen or so fallen Luo Tien angels fell from the air like dumplings, and hit the castle below and the streets of the town. They were already dead and couldn't die anymore. What? Cassie flew, feeling that something was wrong, and looked back deliberately. Immediately afterwards, Cassie saw a scene that surprised her. I saw those fallen angels all fell from the air and died on the spot. What did you do to them? Cassie's face paled. Since it has fallen, there is no need to keep it. Luo Tien smiled lightly, Grand Priest can't bear to deal with his clansmen, but it doesn't mean I will show mercy. Snapped. Luo Tien took the absorbed angel's power as his own, and a small group of magic power immediately appeared in his hand. Erase. Luo Tien used the power of erasing to wipe out this small group of magic directly. At the same time, Luo Tien felt a little emotional. These angels are not very powerful. After absorbing the angel power of a dozen of your angels, the angel power in the body only increased a little. Calculated according to the size of magic power and destructive power, the power of angel in Luo Tien's body has only increased to half of them now. It has not yet reached saturation. Then suck again. Let's talk about when it is saturated. You wait a moment, Luo Tien explained to Kessie, and then returned to the sky above the city again, and turned on the energy absorption mode again. Luo Tien directly sucked heavily at the many fallen Luo angels below. But this time, Luo Tien didn't suck them to death directly, but absorbed a large part of their angel power, and by the way absorbed all the magic power in their bodies. Snapped. Luo Tien raised his hand lightly, and a group of magic power emerged in his hand. Erase. Luo Tien used the erasure technique to wipe out this group of magic power. Then, Luo Tien happily looked at the angel power in his body. This time, Luo Tien's angel power finally reached saturation. Leela, you know, just now Luo Tien absorbed at least 300 angel powers who have fallen into Luo Tien. Although they were not sucked dry, each angel sucked at least 70% of them. Moreover, although the strength of these 300 fallen Luo Tien envoys is not as strong as Vados or Kessie, they are still angels of the angel family. What did you do? Kessie was completely stunned, and looked at Luo Tien with some horror. It's nothing, it's just that the magic power in their bodies has been eliminated. I believe that they will return to normal in a short time. Luo Tien smiled 10 times. Kes truly felt the endless shock. My father and many angels have studied for tens of thousands of years, but there is no way to eliminate the magic power in the body of the fallen Luo Tien. As a result, this person from another world eliminated their magic power in less than 10 seconds. After Luo Tien absorbed the magic power of those angels, he observed them silently. Sure enough, after the magic power in these angels was eliminated, they gradually returned to the normal angel personality and became easygoing. Even the two angels, who were fighting each other before, kept bowing to each other and apologizing solemnly. However, there are still a small number of angels. Although the magic power in their bodies has been eliminated, their personalities have not changed back. It seems that it may be because of being enchanted for too long. Seeing such a scene, especially seeing so many recovered clansmen, Kessie almost burst into tears with excitement. I've been waiting for this day to come. Originally, I thought it would be my father who would solve this problem. The result was solved by people from another world. I hope you don't mind, I accidentally killed a lot of angels. Luo Tien sighed. It doesn't matter, those angels who have been following us have been enchanted for too long. Even if there is no magic power in their bodies, their character has been invaded by magic power and can never be transformed back. Kessie sighed slightly. That's good. Luo Tien nodded. How much more of Angel's magic can you undo? Kes asked. It should be possible to eliminate all Angel's magic power. Luo Tien smiled. What? Is it so powerful? Kessie's beautiful eyes widened, endless shock appeared in her eyes. Today I will finish my work to the end, and get rid of this city first. Luo Tien said, hovering high above the sky, and activated the energy-absorbing nose mode again. But this time, Luo Tien just absorbed the magic power in their bodies. In less than 10 seconds, all Angel's magic power in this city was completely absorbed by Luo Tien. Luo Tien wiped away the absorbed magic power with a wave of his hand. Alright, take me to the next city. Luo Tien said. Kessie was completely dumbfounded. In just 10 seconds, the angels in a city basically returned to normal. Even angels who have been deeply possessed by demons have not yet recovered, but I believe that they will gradually recover their original nature as time goes by. Okay, come with me. Kessie nodded without any objection, and then took Luo Tien and quickly flew in the direction of another city. Luo Tien followed Kessie's side unhurriedly. There are 2 cities nearby, and it will be more troublesome if you go further, because that is the territory of the demons. Cassie said with some concern, but it can recover a little. You really won't be affected, right? Don't let yourself be enchanted by absorbing too much magic power. I'm afraid I'm already possessed, you see. Luo Tien said. A powerful magic power bloomed from his body. And after sensing the magic power on Luo Tien, Cassie's complexion also changed again and again. At that time, she raised her vigilance and was ready to fight. Hey, I was just kidding you. Luo Tien grinned, showing a kind smile. Cassie was stunned for a long time and didn't come back to his senses. You have so much magic in you, are you sure you're okay? Let's go. Luo Tien extended his hand friendly. Cassie hesitated for a moment, but finally stretched out her hand and pulled Luo Tien's hand together. You are really amazing, you are our angel's benefactor. Cassie smiled. However, the demon god of the demon race should not be underestimated. He is very powerful, even if my father wants to defeat him a few days. The demon god guy is nothing special, he's already dead. Luo Tien smiled and said calmly. What, dead? Cassie froze for a moment. That's right, dead. Luo Tien nodded. Cassie fell silent, and the shock on her face couldn't be added. Demon is dead. Seriously, why don't you go take a look later? By the way, there is one more thing, you have to be mentally prepared in advance. Luo Tien said. What's the matter? Cassie was taken aback. It is very possible that your father and your brothers and sisters will move to live in my world. One person will be in charge of managing a universe, and the Grand Priest will be the great steward of the gods. Luo Tien smiled. Cassie opened her small mouth slightly, her eyes filled with endless surprise. Shall we move to your world to live in? Has father already agreed? Cassie asked. He said to think about it, and I think there is a high probability that he will agree. After all, our world is still very good, and it is very suitable for your angel's growth. Luo Tien said with a smile, and before that, Vados has already gone to a place with me. Come on, she likes the food there very much. Kes. If you have anything valuable, take it away quickly, otherwise it will be difficult to come back after the passage of the two worlds is closed. Luo Tien suggested. Cassie glanced down. The castle below is my home, please move with me. Cassie proposed. Okay. Luo Tien didn't object. Whoa. The two turned into two beams of light and flew towards the castle. Soon, Luo Tien came to her castle under the leadership of Cassie. This is Cassie's home in the city. Cassie's house is decorated in a girl-specific way, and there are many dolls in the house. Cassie immediately gathered these dolls with the scepter in her hand. Are you taking all these things away? Luo Tien was speechless. Yes, this is a doll I have collected for many years. Cassie nodded. Soon, Cassie used the scepter to collect all these dolls into a different space. Immediately afterwards, Cassie opened the big closet and put the clothes inside into a special space. Cassie also has a lot of clothes, the whole room is full of cabinets, and the cabinets are full of her clothes. Don't you usually wear angel's clothes? Luo Tien asked. Can you use these clothes? I will wear it when I want to, but I can't always wear angel's clothes. Kurz explained. Then there are all kinds of cosmetics. You, an angel, still use makeup. Luo Tien was puzzled. Use these things to smell good. Cassie giggled. Smell it, isn't it very fragrant? As she spoke, Cassie leaned her hand over. AGFB, spicy pig's trotters, it should taste even better if it is braised in soy sauce. Luo Tien said with a smile. Go, I'm not a pig, have you ever seen such a beautiful pig? Cassie rolled her eyes. I haven't seen it, Luo Tien replied solemnly. Kes. Don't be serious about joking. After helping Cassie to tidy up the house, Luo Tien set off again with Cassie's company, and purified the fallen Luo Tien angels in another town. Further over there is Tongtian City, the largest city in Angel City. Cassie pointed to the distance, it is occupied by demons. Then wipe out all the demons. Luo Tien smiled slightly. Are you sure you can defeat so many demons by yourself? If my father comes back, we can join hands and wipe them out in one fell swoop. Cassie suggested. Don't be so troublesome. Leave it to me, and you will stay by my side later, don't run around. Luo Tien said. Cassie stopped talking. Whoa, The two of them turned into two streamers of different colors, and flew towards the direction of Tongtian City. Not long after, Luo Tien appeared above Tongtian City with Kessie. Who dared to break into Tongtian City? Shish. The next moment, the elders of the demon realm moved out one after another, immediately flew into the sky, and surrounded Luo Tien and Kessie. Isn't this Grand Priest's eldest daughter Kessie? What? Did you find a helper from another world? You are so brave. You dared to break into the sky above Tongtian City, and you even broke through the stronghold so brazenly. You've come just in time. Catch you, just in time for the Grand Priest to throw a mouse. Luo Tien didn't talk nonsense, and didn't bother to smoke. After all, Luo Tien's current magic power has reached saturation, and the magic power will not increase if he continues to absorb it. Luo Tien waved his big hand forward directly, and muttered words in his mouth. All the demons in this city will disappear for me. Luo Tien released the erasing power in his hand. What disappeared? The elders of the demon clan present were stunned for a moment. Then, these demons discovered a scene that terrified them. I saw layers of invisible energy covering the past in an instant. After being covered by these invisible energies, all the demons will disappear immediately as long as they are hit. Run. This guy is a monster. The great elder of the demon race was so frightened that he fled quickly. How could it be possible to run? The power of erasure spread rapidly to the surroundings in an instant. In less than 3 seconds, all the demons in the entire Tongtian City were completely wiped out by Luo Tien's erasing energy, leaving none behind. Although even if the old Zeno came here in person, it would be impossible to wipe out so many demons with a wave of his hand. But Luo Tien did it. Because the energy in Luo Tien's body is too strong. Luo Tien also knew that simply using the power of erasing might not be able to erase them all. Therefore Luo Tien tried to add a little destructive power to these erasing powers. It stands to reason that the basic effects of these two forces are destructive. I didn't expect to be able to fuse together, and the ability to erase has been raised to a higher level. Kessie was completely dumbfounded. There are at least 10,000 demons in this Tongtian City. As a result, Luo Tien was easily eliminated. Kes found it hard to believe this fact if she hadn't seen it with her own eyes. Until now, Kessie finally believed that the demon god might really be dead. With so many demons, Luo Tien wiped them all out with a flick of his fingers. Even my father couldn't do such a terrifying level. You don't need to run around, I'll just wipe out all the demons in Angel City. Luo Tien said. There was nothing polite about it, and he raised his hands again, chanting words even more. A lot of demons are in relatively distant places, can they be erased at such a distance? Kessie was stunned. It shouldn't be a big problem. Luo Tien smiled. All demons, disappear for me. Luo Tien waved his hands, and the power of erasing emerged in his hands. At the same time, Luo Tien added the power of destruction to these erasing powers. Soon, fusion wiped out the destructive power and spread rapidly to the surroundings. Wherever it passed, all the demons disappeared immediately, and it was too late to even struggle. The city of Angel, where the enchantment is located. Shua, the Grand Priest has returned from the world of Dragon Ball with Vados, and plans to go back to say goodbye to his family and friends, and to pick up his children. Shish, shish, shish. The three of them turned into 3 beams of light that were as bright as stars, and flew towards the city in front of them. Just when Grand Priest and the others had just left. The magic power absorbed by Luo Tien before that has not completely disappeared has quietly entered the channel of the knot boundary. Call out. These few magic powers pass through the passage and enter the world of Dragon Ball. And after coming to this world, these magical powers quickly spread to all parts of the universe. Hundreds of millions of years later, because of these magical powers, a terrible monster was born, and his name was Modu. More than 5 million years have passed since the Mara incident, and Majin Buu, who was condensed by the magic power, was also awakened by the magic mage Babidi. And a tiny bit of magic entered the earth, invading a Namek. The man of Namek who wanted to become the god of the earth eventually had to unleash the magic within him, thus forming the Piccolo Daimao. Another magic power entered the 11th universe, condensed a monster, and killed Jiren's master, Jia Cheng. Among these magic powers, there is a magic essence, who created the devil in the world of Dragon Ball by his own experience. He is the ancestor of Dabura, who looks exactly like Dabra. However, the strength of this ancestor of Dabra has been greatly reduced, and he has reached the level of Supreme Kai. However, as the years continued to accumulate, Dabra's ancestors also laid a solid foundation for their descendants. In the Daprana area, he already has the ability to surpass Supreme Kai. Then, Dabra aggressively planned to unify the God realm, but in the end he was controlled by Bafidi, and finally Majin Buu turned into biscuits and ate them. After death, Dabura was sent to heaven by King Yan Luo, and his soul was purified. Since then, the demon god that has lasted for hundreds of millions of years has finally completely disappeared. Of course, these are things for later. The sky above the city where the Grand Priest lived. The Grand Priest showed up above the city with Vados and Whis, and saw something that shocked them. All the angels have returned to normal, and the magic power on their bodies seems to have disappeared. Vados sighed. Oh, this is really amazing. Who made it? Whis was amazed. Did Luo Tien do it? How did he do it? Vados was shocked. It was indeed made by Luo Tien. Grand Priest immediately checked what happened at that time through the scepter in his hand. Seeing this, Grand Priest also had endless shock written all over his face. You just stand there without moving your body, and all angels' magic power is just absorbed by you. And you have absorbed a large part of the angel power of many angels. The Grand Priest was speechless. Immediately afterwards, Yin Shenyi discovered another thing that shocked him. Not only this city, but the demons in the entire angel city have been wiped out by him. Grand Priest sighed, the surprise in his eyes couldn't be added. What? He wiped out all the demons, how did he do it? Whis lost his voice. Whoa, it's unbelievable. Vados was stunned. It's amazing. Grand Priest didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Even if we don't want to go now, I'm afraid it will be very difficult. We already owe him such a big favor. Yeah, Vados nodded. All the children, I am Grand Priest, please call back. Grand Priest didn't hesitate any longer, immediately picked up the scepter, and spoke to all the children. Father, I heard you. Angel Colin immediately responded. My lord, I heard that too. Makurita replied. Father, isn't it a little strange? It seems that all the demons disappeared in an instant. Savoy replied. Oh, I also discovered this situation. Campari replied. My lord father, what happened? Only my lord father can make such a big masterpiece. Avamo also said. Grand Priest has a total of 3 sons and 3 daughters. The 3 sons are Cologne, Savoy and Whis. The 3 daughters are Kessie, Margarita and Vados. In addition, Priest Yin has 4 adopted sons and 2 adopted daughters. The 4 adopted sons are Campelli, Konik, Kukatel and Mo Gitto. The 2 adopted daughters are Avamo and Marty Nu. Exactly 12 kids. It is also more appropriate for each of the 12 children to be in charge of a universe. At present, except for the underage Vados and Whis who stay with Grand Priest, the rest of the 12 children can already be on their own and are fighting against the demons in the city where they live. Shen Guan's summons also used the scepter to turn on the call mode. Father, I am with Mr. Luo Tien. Kessie said. Kes, you just told Mr. Luo Tien that I agree to move to his world and live a good life in that world from now on. Grand Priest smiled. Okay, my lord father. Kessie replied. Get ready to move, kids, Grand Priest announced. Except for Kessie, Whis and Vados, the rest of the angels were all stunned. What move? Where to move? At the invitation of Mr. Luo Tien, we will move to a new world. I believe you will like the environment there more. Grand Priest explained with a smile, in that world. Isn't it interesting that all human beings live on one sphere after another? But what about Father, the demon god? How is the demon god? Kei Lun asked. The demon god has been wiped out by Mr. Luo Tien, and even all the demons have also been wiped out by Mr. Luo Tien. Grand Priest replied, I declare that the city of Angel has returned to peace, and it is time for us to succeed return. Hey, what Father said seems to be that you have solved these demons. Sava secretly smiled in a distant place. Sava, how is your cultivation going? Go back to the new world. I suggest you to compete with the gods of destruction in that world, and don't shout out if you get hurt. Grand Priest narrowed his eyes, look at Sava Road. Savoy. Savoy quickly shut up. Assemble at my place in half an hour, is it all right? Grand Priest issued an order. No problem. Many angels responded together. Kes, will Luo Tien be back in half an hour? The heavenly priest asked C again. My Lord Father said, let's meet up in half an hour. Kessie said to Luo Tien. Yes. Luo Tien nodded without any objection. After all, things in Angel City are basically over. It doesn't make much sense to stay any longer. There is still time, there is the palace of the demon god, shall we see if there are any treasures inside? Kessie glanced down, and pointed to a huge castle. Go and have a look. Luo Tien nodded. Whoa, whoa. The two quickly fell from the sky and appeared in the palace of the demon god. After entering the palace, Luo Tien saw a silver gem suspended above the demon god's throne at a glance. This gem is round and round, with a diameter of about 10 centimeters. It is suspended above the seat of God out of thin air, full of metallic luster like silver. What? Luo Tien was slightly taken aback. I heard that this thing is a time gem, and you can travel through time and space through this gem. It is the most precious treasure of the demon god. Kessie explained, grabbing the gem forward, and handed both hands to Luo Tien. 0. Time gem. Luo Tien's heart moved. Can you travel through time and space? It is said that it can travel through time and space, but the demon god has not researched it for a long time. Kessie replied, this gem was brought by the demon god from the demon realm. I'll study hard. Luo Tien nodded in satisfaction, and put away the time gem. There is a small one here. Kessie's eyes lit up, and she looked at a silver gemstone inlaid on the throne. Luo Tien looked at the jewel inlaid on the throne. Sure enough, it is also a time gem. Snapped. Luo Tien directly picked out this gem and threw it to Kessie. Give it to me. Kessie was taken aback. Take it, and turn it over to Grand Priest, let him make a space-time ring and give it to Supreme Kai. Luo Tien pondered. Supreme Kai. Kessie didn't know much about these yet. In our world, Supreme Kai is the god of creation, responsible for creating life and protecting creatures. I believe that having the time stone will be more helpful to their work. Luo Tien said. Okay, then I won't be polite. Kessie nodded and put away the gems. Immediately afterwards, Luo Tien and Kessie walked around the castle again. 10 minutes later, Luo Tien found a black scepter in the demon god's bedroom. This is the scepter of the previous Grand Priest. I didn't expect it to be kept in the demon god's bedroom. Kessie stepped forward and picked up the scepter, analyzed it briefly, and then handed it to him with both hands. Luo Tien. Luo Tien took the scepter and looked at it briefly. The scepter is a weapon used by our angel family to cast spells, and it can amplify our angel power. Kessie explained, generally speaking, our angel scepter can amplify our angel power twice around, Father's scepter can magnify 5 times, and it is said that the scepter of the former Grand Priest can magnify angel's power 10 times. It's a good thing. Luo Tien nodded, trying to inject angel's power into the scepter. Immediately afterwards, Luo Tien pointed the scepter in his hand at the demon god's luxurious big bed. Snapped. The powerful angel power instantly covered the big bed. In just a split second, the big bed vanished into thin air. It's really remarkable. Luo Tien was very satisfied with this scepter. As expected of Mr. Luo Tien, he has mastered the skills of our angel so easily. Kessie sighed for a while. I'll try the call effect. Luo Tien said, and began to call the heavenly priest through the crystal ball on the scepter. The residence of the Grand Priest. Grand Priest is cleaning the room with Whis and Vados, putting away the things that can be taken away. At this moment, Grand Priest suddenly felt the scepter vibrate. Grand Priest was slightly taken aback, then immediately picked up the scepter, and looked into the crystal ball above the scepter. The next moment, Grand Priest saw a familiar face. Oh my, isn't this Mr. Luo Tien? Grand Priest was taken aback, and quickly greeted him politely. That's right, the call is quite clear, and I can even see Grand Priest's nose hair. Luo Tien sighed with emotion. Grand Priest. Ahem. Can Mr. Luo Tien use Kessie's scepter to contact me? Grand Priest asked. Father, this is not my scepter. Kessie deliberately waved her scepter beside, 563. Are you in the palace of the demon god? Grand Priest suddenly came back to his senses, so, this scepter was left by the previous Grand Priest. I remember it was taken by the demon god for himself. Yes, it is the scepter of the former Grand Priest. Kessie nodded, and my lord, we also found the Time Stone, which is suspended above the demon god's throne, and there is also a small time stone inlaid on the throne. The top of the seat has already been ripped off by Mr. Luo Tien. Bring the gem back to study and study. It is said that this gem can travel through time and space. Grand Priest smiled. We've already got it, Kes replied. Where are the passages between Angel City and the Demon Realm? Leave it alone. Do you need me to close it for you? Luo Tien asked Grand Priest. The passage between Angel City and the Demon Realm has been closed long ago. Grand Priest explained, after the demon god came to our world, he destroyed the passage. After all, the resources of the demon realm have been exhausted, and the world they live in has no more. For any value, if the channel continues to open, it will only allow more demons to enter our world. Well, that's why the demon god only brought his confidants to the city of Angel, and left the other demons to fend for themselves in the demon realm. Kessie added, I heard the demon god say before that after he came to our world, their demon world will be completely exhausted in no more than 10,000 years, and I am afraid that the demons over there have died because of the exhaustion of resources. Since the matter of the demons has been resolved, let's leave early and return to our world. Luo Tien is not very interested in the affairs of the demons. Okay, Kessie nodded. Whoa, whoa. Luo Tien and Kessie turned into two streamers of different colors, and quickly flew towards the town where Grand Priest was located. The speed of the two was extremely fast, and it didn't take long for them to appear above the town of Grand Priest. At the same time, the other sons and daughters of the Grand Priest also rushed over from all directions. Among them, Makarita and Kellen appeared in the sky first because they were relatively close to here, and they just had a face-to-face encounter with Luo Tien and Kessie. Sister Kessie. Makarita stepped forward and grabbed Kessie's hand, looked at Luo Tien up and down, and asked Kessie in a low voice, Sister, is this person from another world Mr. Luo Tien? Yes, Kessie nodded, and immediately introduced Luo Tien to Makarita and Kellen. So handsome. Makarita grinned, blinked at Luo Tien specially, and introduced herself, my name is Makarita. Hello, Makabaka. Luo Tien nodded. Makarita, my name is not Makabaka, my name is Makarita. Makarita corrected. It's better to say Makabaka. Luo Tien said again. Makarita didn't want to talk anymore. Why do you change people's names indiscriminately? Why is Makabaka easier to pronounce? My name is not a mouthful. Hello, my name is. Kei-Lun was just about to say his name, but when he heard that Luo Tien changed his sister's name indiscriminately, he took back what he was about to say. This is my two-letter name, you don't think it's a mouthful, do you? It's not important anymore. Luo Tien nodded. FHE. Why doesn't my name matter? This is very important, okay. Let's hurry up, father is waiting for us. Kessie suggested. Okay. Margarita nodded. Colin didn't say much either. Several people landed in the mansion of Grand Priest together with Luo Tien. Not long after, Savoy and other angels came one after another and returned to the Grand Priest's mansion. At this moment, in the mansion of the Grand Priest, many angels also came to see them off. At this time, many angels also learned that it was Luo Tien who defeated the demon god and saved the world. The angels bowed to Luo Tien one after another, expressing their sincere gratitude. Luo Tien said that there is no need to be so polite. Master Grand Priest, you are the leader of our angel family. Are you really planning to leave this world and develop in a new world? Angel asked. Yes, I have already decided that I will develop with the children in the world of Mr. Luo Tien. Grand Priest nodded. After we leave, I will destroy the passage between the two worlds. I'm afraid it will be difficult to see each other in the future. Tush, from now on you are the new Grand Priest, I hope you will develop our angel city well. Yes, Lord Grand Priest. The angel named Tush immediately moved forward to salute. Since Master Grand Priest has made a decision, then, do you want to bring a goddess there? Angel whispered in Grand Priest's ear, although it is difficult for our angel family to give birth to new life, but if the Grand Priest does not leave, will a new child be born? Grand Priest. Besides, Mr. Grand Priest is the one with the most children among our many angels. I think Mr. Grand Priest will have new children. The angel added. No need. I already have so many children, and I'm very satisfied with it. Let's stop with the goddess. Grand Priest waved his hand. After all, he didn't mean to agree. I think this elder is right. Tush took the words and suggested, what if something goes wrong in that world? Let me put it bluntly, if you also meet a very powerful group from another world, the birth of a new life can also allow our angel family to multiply. I have already checked that world, and I found that there is a possibility that new angels will be bred in the universe of that world. There is no need to reproduce through the common method. Great God. Answer. Really, it would be great if that's the case. Tass breathed a sigh of relief. Kes, what does your father mean by the common way of reproduction? Luo Tien turned to ask Kes at the side. Oh, that's just. Kessie's face turned red at that moment. How Mr. Luo Tien reproduces your clan, so we angel will reproduce. Makarita was not shy at all, and whispered something in Luo Tien's ear. Thank you for clarifying. Luo Tien nodded. If you have some time, do you want Mr. Luo Tien to try with our angel clan? Makarita grinned. With you. Luo Tien looked at Makarita thoughtfully. When Luo Tien was watching anime, he thought the most beautiful angels were Vados and Makarita. Kessie is also pretty, but a little short. But it doesn't matter. Also, what makes Luo Tien a little uncomfortable is the skin color of the angel family. The angel family all have blue skin, and Luo Tien, who watches anime, finds it difficult to accept this skin color. However, after seeing these beauties angel in reality, Luo Tien felt that blue's complexion was nothing special. It's not unacceptable either. Hey, I'm joking. Makarita covered her mouth and laughed secretly. I am the only one left in our family. Luo Tien sighed. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Makarita apologized quickly. However, I think you can seriously consider your suggestion just now. Luo Tien pondered. I really should find a way to reproduce our family. I am alone, and I am really too lonely. Makarita suddenly had a bad feeling. Since you agreed to help me, when we go to our world, the two of us will study hard. Luo Tien said. Makarita, really is bad. I accidentally put myself in it. Ahem, is it still too late for me to choose not to go to your world? Makarita didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The Grand Priest glanced in Makarita's direction. Makarita quickly covered her mouth, stuck out her tongue playfully at Luo Tien, and said no more. Then, it's time for us to set off. Everyone, take care. Grand Priest said. Tush, don't let me down. Yes, Lord Grand Priest. Tush immediately bowed and saluted. The next moment, Grand Priest made an inviting gesture to Luo Tien. Luo Tien didn't say much, and took the lead to fly into the sky. Grand Priest and his children also flew up slowly, appearing above the sky. Tush and many other angels flew up to see them off. Go back, don't send them away. Grand Priest waved his hand. Take care. Tush saluted again. The rest of the angels also bowed and saluted. Call out. Luo Tien and Grand Priest no longer had the slightest hesitation, and immediately turned into two streamers of different colors, flying towards the direction of the barrier. Vados, Margarita and other children followed immediately. Not long after, Luo Tien and others appeared at the entrance of the barrier. Shish. Luo Tien brought Grand Priest and other angels into the world of Dragon Ball. Now, it's still too late for you to regret it. Grand Priest said to the children with a serious look, and stretched out his scepter, aiming at the black vortex from the air. Once I destroy the barrier over there, I'm afraid the future there is no going back. Quickly think about what else you haven't taken. Kessie pinched her little chin thoughtfully. Oh my, I forgot to bring the set of cosmetics I just bought. Is there still time to go back now? Makarita patted her forehead. Grand Priest's face darkened. Forget about the world's belongings, there are also in this world. Grand Priest glared at Makarita. Oh, what a disrespect. Makarita smiled playfully. Since I have no regrets, then I will destroy this enchantment. Grand Priest said, without the slightest hesitation. The crystal ball above the scepter in his hand sprayed out an angel's power. The power of angel quickly covered the black vortex. The next moment, black's vortex was slowly shrinking. Luo Tien looked towards the vortex of the vortex black. According to the rhythm of the angel power released by the Grand Priest, it would be difficult to completely destroy this black vortex in less than 2 or 3 hours. Let's help out together. Kessie suggested, and at the same time picked up the scepter in her hand, aiming at the black vortex from the air. Okay. Kei-Lun waited for Angel to have no objection. What are you trying to do? Just erase it. Luo Tien waved his hand lightly, and the force of erasing quickly covered it. Shua. Just in the blink of an eye, the black vortex suddenly disappeared. Grand Priest. All angels. The Grand Priest and other angel present were completely stunned. With just a wave of your hand, the black vortex is gone. Isn't this too strong? Oh my, as expected of Mr. Luo Tien, that's amazing. Kessie sighed. Ahem, since we have come to this new world, from now on we should call Mr. Luo Tien Master Inspector. Grand Priest suggested. You don't need to be so polite, you can still call me Mr. Luo Tien. Luo Tien smiled, I am not that particular. Okay, Grand Priest didn't force it either. Next, I'll take you to see Lord Zeno. Luo Tien suggested. Okay, Mr. Lao Luo Tien is here. Grand Priest nodded, and explained to the 12 angels present, Master Zeno is the greatest god in this world, and he can easily erase the entire universe with a wave of his hand. If possible, I'm afraid besides me, you angels can also be wiped out with Master Zeno's ability. Is it the erasure technique that Mr. Luo Tien released just now? Kei-Lun was very surprised. Should be. Grand Priest nodded. What a magical trick. Whis sighed. Don't worry, Zeno is still easy to talk to. Luo Tien smiled. Let's go. Thank you. Grand Priest bowed to Luo Tien. Grand Priest, don't be so polite, I still need you to develop these universes in the future. Luo Tien waved his hand. I will do my best to develop these universes. Grand Priest nodded in promise. I believe in you. Luo Tien smiled. Thank you. Grand Priest's expression also became serious. Mr. Luo Tien believes in me so much, and I will not let him down. I must develop these universes well. Take these universes to greater heights. Does Mr. Luo Tien have any better suggestions for the development of universe? Grand Priest asked. I want to hear what you have to say. Luo Tien said. After I came to this world, I also have a simple understanding of each universe. Grand Priest nodded and replied without hiding it, at present, I found that there are some problems in these universes. For example, most universes have it as chaotic, there is no unified plan, and the Supreme God of the universe has not managed these universes. There are not even basic constraints, let alone development. The Grand Priest is right. Luo Tien agreed. Before I heard Mr. Luo Tien talk about gathering powerful humans from various universes to become gods of destruction, I think this method is feasible. Grand Priest continued, but if there is destruction, creation is essential. The best way is to keep the universe in a balanced stage. After all, if too many lives are created, the resources of the universe will gradually be exhausted. At this time, gods of destruction needs to destroy some unnecessary planet. Quote. Indeed, at present, most of gods of destruction's work has not been done with all their heart and soul. Luo Tien responded. Yes, yes. Grand Priest nodded and asked, against such gods of destruction, how should we deal with it? I have dismissed all those gods of destruction, and then I will choose a new gods of destruction to take office, start teaching them again, train them, let every angel live with the gods of destruction, and be responsible for their teaching and training. Luo Tien suggested, of course these are my preliminary plans, and some details still need to be polished. Okay, take what Mr. Luo Tien said. Grand Priest said that there was nothing wrong. By the way, Father, Mr. Luo Tien said that he needs to repolish the time gem. It is best to polish it into a space-time ring and give it to Supreme Kai. Kessie quickly flew forward, and put his own piece with both hands. The time stone was handed to the Grand Priest. It's the time gem. If it can be researched, it can travel through time and space. Grand Priest nodded and then looked at Luo Tien with some doubts. Mr. Luo Tien, why did you give the time gem to Supreme Kai to let them use it? If Supreme Kai can travel through time and space, he can look at the later development of the planet or life in this way, and also have a deeper understanding of this race or the planet it manages. Luo Tien explained. This is a good idea. Grand Priest's eyes lit up, and then he pondered, however, if Supreme Kai can go back to the past, will it affect us now? For example, if he went to the past and accidentally destroyed a certain planet, it will cause unnecessary troubles for us now. After all, if history changes, time and space will also be disordered. They are forbidden to go back to the past, they can only go to the future, so that it will not affect time and space. Luo said. If they're not allowed to go back in time, then there's nothing wrong with that. Grand Priest nodded in agreement. I'll study it too, and work out a way to travel through time and space as soon as possible. Luo Tien said, also took out his own time gem. Okay, Grand Priest replied. Grand Priest, you said that injecting Angel's power into this gem will achieve the effect of traveling through time and space. Luo Tien asked. I'm afraid it won't work. Grand Priest shook his head. If Angel's power can travel through time and space on gemstones, I don't think the demon god has been researching it for so long. There is also a fallen angel beside the demon god, and the fallen angel should have used the power of the angel to try this kind of gem. If it is possible to travel through time and space, the demon god would no longer exist in that world. I'll give it a try. Luo Tien said, and then a little bit of angel power emerged from his body, and he quickly applied these angel powers to the time stone. Snapped. The time gem emits a light as bright as a star. Then, there is no more. After these angel powers were attached to the time gems, they gradually dissipated soon. Luo Tien took a closer look and found that Angel's power could not be integrated into the gem. It's as if the gem has a mentality of resistance, so that the power of Angel cannot be exerted. No way. Grand Priest smiled. As far as I know, the demon god has never researched a way to travel through time and space, otherwise he would not be able to put such a precious gemstone in his mansion. If he really researched it, he should just take it with you. I'll try another power. Luo Tien nodded, feeling that what Grand Priest said was right. The demon god probably hasn't researched a way to travel through time and space. As for Luo Tien, if he really researched the way to travel through time and space, he would definitely carry the gems with him. In this way, time travel can be carried out when necessary. However, with the mentality of giving it a try, Luo Tien released a cloud of magic power at the gemstone. Sure enough, as Luo Tien expected, the magic power was similar to Angel's power. After encountering the gem, it was blocked by the gem, and could not be integrated into the gem at all. Of course, it's not impossible if you insist on incorporating magic power into it. Then the gem will shatter on the spot. No magic. Angel's power doesn't work either. Try the power of destruction again. Snapped. The purple-red streamer in Luo Tien's hand flickered, and the power of destruction also quickly attached to the gem. Grand Priest is no surprise. Long before the Grand Priest saw Luo Tien using the power of destruction. However, the other angels present widened their eyes one by one, showing endless shock. How many types of energy are there in Mr. Luo Tien's body? What he used just now was Angel's power and magic power. Now what is the energy of this purple-red? Is it the destructive power of the gods of destruction in this world? It seems that this energy does carry a destructive momentum. Crack. Just when Luo Tien attached the power of destruction to the gem, the time gem made a crisp sound. Immediately afterwards, a tiny crack appeared on the gemstone. Grand Priest. Angels. The Grand Priest and the many angels present were speechless. Ruined. The time stone is about to be destroyed by you. Luo Tien was also speechless for a while. I thought this time gem was quite strong. As a result, cracks appeared as soon as the destructive force attached to it. It can be repaired with the power of Angel. Grand Priest reminded. Oh, Luo Tien was slightly taken aback. The angel power of our angel family can be called omnipotent energy, which can be transformed into various forms of energy, such as attack, healing, destruction, etc. Grand Priest explained, of course, if it is transformed into destruction, it will naturally not as powerful as pure destruction. I'll give it a try. Luo Tien nodded, and the power of Angel emerged from his hand again, and quickly covered the cracks in the gemstone. Sure enough, when Luo Tien attached Angel's power to the crack, the gem's crack was gradually repaired. In less than 3 seconds, this tiny crack was healed by Angel's power. Destructive forces also cannot activate the time stone. Luo Tien had no choice but to try again with other strengths. This time, Luo Tien used Common's gold energy. This energy is the energy cultivated by the common people. Just as Luo Tien expected, it really didn't have much effect. The gold energy of common could not be integrated into the gem, and the gem didn't respond in any way. Common's energy is also not working. Luo Tien only had the last two energies left. One is the power of erasure, and the other is divine power. The power of erasing is obviously not good. Maybe once used, this gem will be erased directly. Then the only thing that can travel through time and space may be the divine power of Supreme Kai. Could it be that Supreme Kai is the only one who can travel through time and space? The angel family can't travel through time and space. But Luo Tien thought about it carefully, and suddenly figured out a problem. Grand Priest also said that angel's power can be transformed into various power zones. In other words, angel's power can be converted into divine power. Of course, the transformed divine power should not be as pure as the real divine power, but it shouldn't be a big problem to travel through time and space. Let's first try whether the divine power can travel through time and space. It's a pity that the divine power in Luo Tien's body is the least among all the powers, and these divine powers are all obtained by Luo Tien through his own cultivation. After all, there is not much Supreme Kai for Luo Tien to absorb divine power. Luo Tien had no choice but to strengthen his divine power through his own cultivation. Snapped. A cloud of red's divine power immediately appeared in Luo Tien's hand. The divine power quickly acts on the time gem. And the moment the divine power came into contact with the gem, it immediately merged into the king of the gem. Fusion. Grand Priest's eyes sparkled. The other angels also showed incomparable shock. The demon god has been researching for tens of thousands of years, but he has not researched the time gem, so it took Mr. Luo Tien to research it in less than an hour. Mr. Luo Tien, quickly feel the reaction of this gemstone. Grand Priest said hastily. Luo Tien nodded lightly, closed his eyes silently, and felt this time gem. Immediately, pictures appeared one after another in front of Luo Tien's eyes. These pictures flowed rapidly before Luo Tien's eyes like a movie. The feeling for Luo Tien is, it is as if there is a smart computer, and the time and space that can be selected appear one after another on the computer interface. From the past to the future, including all timelines, are in this smart device. Even, Luo Tien started to watch from the earliest time, and what he saw was a very huge universe. Immediately afterwards, Luo Tien saw the old Zeno again. I saw the old Zeno waved his hand lightly, and directly divided this universe into two, dividing it into two universes. Old Zeno waved his hand again, turning two universes into four universes again. Soon, two Zeno divided the universe into 18 in one go. Luo Tien clicked to fast forward. Then, Luo Tien saw the old Zeno sitting on the temple built by himself, and arranged the temple. After some time passed, two strange races that looked like thin horse poles came forward to kneel down and salute the old Zeno. Old Zeno took them as bodyguards. Luo Tien clicked fast forward again. Afterwards, Luo Tien saw that the old Zeno had opened up another world, the Supreme Kai world, and brought the Supreme Kai from that world to this world to perform some toughness on this world. Several years passed. Planets and creatures were finally born in this world. The old Zeno and the first Supreme Kai held hands and danced excitedly. Universe was first built, and it was a very memorable day at that time. Since then, about 10 million years have passed, and the major universes have finally had a good development. Human beings in the universe started an orderly life. However, where human beings exist, wars have gradually formed. The old Zeno also discovered this problem, and then discussed with the first Supreme Kai to set up the gods of destruction in the universe to be in charge of the order of these universes. The first Supreme Kai raised his hands in approval. Thus, the first gods of destruction was born. His name is Tiger. He was also the most powerful human being in the universe at that time. After Tiger took office, he did not disappoint the old Zeno. With his strong strength, he quickly maintained the order of the universe. The universe is also gradually developing in a peaceful direction. After another million years or so passed, Tiger applied to set up gods of destruction in various universes. Because Tiger feels that he has been working for 1 million years, and he is really tired. Moreover, the major races in the universe continue to be born and reproduce like mushrooms after a spring rain. Today you solve the order of this universe, and tomorrow there will be problems with the order of another universe. Tiger is a bit overwhelmed. And the journey from one universe to another is really too far away. You can't let Supreme Kai deliver it every time, can you? The old Zeno also felt that Tiger's proposal was not bad, so he readily accepted it. The universes began to pick their own gods of destruction. From the first universe to the 18th universe, each universe will elect one of the most powerful human beings to become gods of destruction, and be responsible for managing their respective universes. Tiger was also appointed by the old Zeno as the great gods of destruction, responsible for guiding and managing all gods of destruction. When Luo Tien saw this, his heart moved, and he immediately looked at the 18th universe. Sure enough, the blue star of the 18th universe also received news of the appointment of gods of destruction. Luo Tien also saw a familiar figure that could no longer be familiar with. He was Yuan Zun Patriarch. Luo Tien's eyes were a little moist. Old man Yuan Zun, I saw you here. In addition, Luo Tien also saw the elders of Tu Dandan, Karu and Relajao. Have you heard about Yuan Zun? Gods of Destruction is selecting gods of destruction to be responsible for managing its own universe. Are you interested? Relajao said to Yuan Zun with a smile. I have also received this message. Of course I am interested. Do you also want to run for gods of destruction? Yuan Zun smiled. There can only be one gods of destruction. You and us are the most powerful human beings in this universe, right? Relajao smiled, and immediately corrected. No, to be precise, you should be the most powerful human being in the universe. If nothing else, you will become the gods of destruction of our universe. We will not participate in the election. The three of us are not enough for you to fight, so we give up. Karu shook his head aside. Yeah, give it up, the three of us still have self-knowledge. Tu Shandan nodded. Originally, I wanted to run for the election, but knowing that you were interested in being gods of destruction, I had no choice but to withdraw. Relajao laughed. I know no matter how hard I try, I can't be your opponent. We will don't fight to the death. Where is it? I'm overwhelmed. The old man Yuan Zun responded modestly. Today, the three of us brothers have to celebrate for you anyway, so that we can wish you to become gods of destruction as soon as possible. Relajao stepped forward and patted Yuan Zun on the shoulder. Be polite, Yuan Zun said with a smile. Don't think about things so simply. Maybe there are more powerful races in this universe. How is it possible? We are still very clear about the situation of this universe. If you are called the second in the universe, no one dares to call you the first. Karu answered from the side. You really can put a high hat on me. Yuan Zun laughed. Let's stop talking politely. Today, the three of us brothers, please have a good meal, so that you can go on the road early. Li Wanghao. Tu Dandan smiled. Get on the road earlier. Yuan Zun was taken aback. Second, what nonsense are you talking about? Can you say something auspicious? Relajao reprimanded, and corrected. The second means to let you become gods of destruction sooner. If you become gods of destruction, in the future, don't forget the three of us, and the development of Blue Star is still counting on you. If I really become gods of destruction, I will definitely develop our universe well, don't worry. Yuan Zun promised. Let's go, let's drink some wine to celebrate. Relajao stepped forward and hooked Yuan Zun's shoulder. No need, you don't have to be so polite, Yuan Zun said with a smile. Our rat clan and your human clan have established a friendly relationship. What kind of politeness do you have with us? Rayleigh said. Besides, you can become gods of destruction, which is also very beneficial to our Blue Star, and there is no harm. Such a good thing. How can a meal of wine be enough? If I have time, I will find you a drink. Yuan Zun's kindness was hard to turn down, but he finally agreed. After a few glasses of wine, Yuan Zun suddenly realized that something was wrong. Why do you feel dizzy? Is there something wrong with this wine? Why did I drink it a bit? Yuan Zun frowned. Until now, Yuan has never suspected that mouse. Boom. Rula Giao made a sudden move, and directly slapped Yuan Zun's chest with a heavy palm. Puff. Yuan Zun spit out a mouthful of acid water at that time, and his whole body immediately penetrated the wall of the hotel and flew to the block. The humans and rats in the block were all stunned. What happened? Isn't that Yuan Zun? Looks like someone beat you. Shish. The three mice quickly chased after them, and appeared opposite Yuan Zun, with a cold smile on their faces. Yuan Zun finally came back to his senses. You three are uneasy and kind. Yuan Zun's angry face emerged. You guessed right, Yuan Zun. Relajo sneered. There is only one quota for gods of destruction, and this quota can only belong to our rat clan. You human race can't get it. Do you think that if you sneak attack me, I will lose to you? Yuan Zun shouted. Call out. Yuan Zun turned into a streamer of light and appeared in the sky above the planet in an instant. Don't try to escape. Kulu shouted loudly, and hurriedly chased after him. The human race and the rat race present all looked up at the sky, completely unaware of what was going on. But there are also people who quickly understand. Are the two sides competing for the title of gods of destruction? It's not impossible. It seems that there is only one god of gods of destruction. Whoa. Tu Dandan and Relagio also made rapid progress. Three mice surrounded Yuan Zun inside. Idiot, who said I'm going to escape? I just don't want to hurt the innocent. I believe you don't want to hurt your own clansmen either. Yuan Zun sneered. Up to now, you'd better take care of yourself. Relagio smiled. Bang bang bang. The next moment, Yuan Zun had a fierce confrontation with the three mice. Although Yuan Zun drank the poisoned wine, he became more and more courageous with 1 against 3. For a while, the three mice were actually at a disadvantage. The faces of the three mice in Rilligor changed again and again. This guy is too fierce. They all drank our poisoned wine. Can they beat us? How can this be done? Boss, we are going to lose. Karu said with a wry smile. I didn't expect him to be so powerful. Relagio said in a deep voice. Why don't we admit defeat earlier? Maybe because of our friendship for many years, he can spare our lives. Tu Dandan suggested. You're right. Relagio nodded heavily, and shouted loudly, we admit defeat. Stop first. Yuan Zun stopped attacking slowly, and with a cold snort, he suddenly spat out a mouthful of poisonous blood. HMPH, does the head of state of Russia care about such a thing? He snorted. The faces of the three mice in Relagio also became extremely ugly. Immediately afterwards, the three of them knelt obediently in front of Yuan Zun. Yuan Zun, I'm really sorry, we are obsessed with ghosts. We should not have framed you. Relagio hastily apologized. Yuan Zun, we were wrong, and we will never dare again. Tu Shan Dan also apologized. Please let us go, Yuan Zun, we will agree to whatever you ask us to do in the future. Karu also said. That's all. Yuan Zun gritted his teeth. After all, he didn't kill the three of them. You Yuan Zun old man, you are really a saint. However, the old man Yuan Zun was indeed powerful, he was poisoned, and he could still beat the three mice to their knees begging for mercy. Moreover, the poison was forced out. However, just when Luo Tien thought that Yuan Zun had already won this battle. Call out. A tiger man came quickly from a distance and appeared beside the four of them. Age is Tiger. Who? Yuan Zun was taken aback for a moment, and looked at Tiger warily. I am the big gods of destruction Tiger, responsible for all gods of destruction and maintaining the order of the universe. Tiger snorted coldly. Yes, it is Lord Gods of Destruction. Yuan Zun's face changed slightly, and he bowed hurriedly. Greetings, Lord Gods of Destruction. The three mice of Relagio also immediately stepped forward to bow down. Blue Star. Tiger smiled, and looked at the planet below. It's a beautiful planet. That's right, Lord Gods of Destruction. Even if you look at the entire universe, this planet is considered a relatively good-looking existence. Yuan Zun replied. I found out a long time ago that you should be the most powerful human being in this universe. Tiger looked at Yuan Zun with a smile. Master Gods of Destruction is serious, the universe is so big, maybe there are races stronger than me. Yuan Zun replied immediately. However, I don't like people who don't even have any hair on their bodies. Tiger smiled and squinted at Yuan Zun. Yuan Zun. Boom. Tiger didn't have any extra nonsense, and he slapped it with his palm, which hit Yuan Zun's chest at that time. Yuan Zun left a shadow in the starry sky, and while flying upside down, the blood from his mouth also sprayed out. Such a move stunned the three mice of Relagio who were present, and they trembled uncontrollably with fright. I don't like that race. Can the three of you be qualified for the gods of destruction? Tiger asked with a smile. The three mice of Relajo were stunned again, unable to react at all. At present, apart from the 18th universe that needs a gods of destruction, the 6th universe and the 7th universe also need a gods of destruction. The three of you are just right. Tiger said with a smile. If there is no problem, I will take office in a few days. The three mice of Ruelago felt that happiness came too suddenly. It's just, Lord Gods of Destruction, I want to ask, why did you choose us? Karu asked bravely. What, you don't agree? Tiger smiled lightly. No, my Lord Gods of Destruction, of course we agree. I didn't ask anything, Karu replied quickly. HMPH, it's not a great reason, it's just that you three are more pleasing to the eye, and that hairless human race is a bit of an eyesore. Tiger said with a light smile, if such a guy becomes gods of destruction, I will be very happy. Displeased. Human race. Is it a collective name for all human beings? The name of this group is too arrogant. We know how to do it. My Lord Gods of Destruction. Rilligor immediately responded. We will make them feel endless pain in the next few years. Karu chuckled. Lord Gods of Destruction, since you are here, why don't you go to our planet to taste the special food on the planet? Tu Dandan suggested, there are many good food on our planet. 1. All right, Tiger nodded without objecting. The next moment, Tiger and the three mice quickly flew towards the blue star. When passing by Yuan Zun, Tiger was a little surprised. Oh, still alive. The vitality is very tenacious. Tiger said with a smile, it's really amazing to be able to survive after eating my palm. Lord Gods of Destruction, I'll kill him right away. Karu grinned. Tiger didn't say any more, and he didn't object, which was regarded as acquiescing. Call out. Kalu quickly flew towards Yuan Zun's direction. Yuan Zun also struggled to get up at this time, but the palm of Gods of Destruction already made him feel endless exhaustion and pain. Looking at Kalu who was approaching at high speed, Yuan Zun was powerless to fight any more. Yuan Zun let out a helpless sigh. Mr. Luo Tien, Mr. Luo Tien. At this moment, the voice of Grand Priest pulled Luo Tien back from the past. Luo Tien's eyes were red, almost bleeding from the eyes. Mr. Luo Tien. You are. Grand Priest was stunned when he saw Luo Tien's expression. Whis and other angels were also a little confused. Grand Priest, go see Zeno yourself, I won't go. Luo Tien said. Where is Mr. Luo Tien going? Grand Priest was taken aback. I'm waiting for you somewhere in the future. Luo Tien said. His whole body turned into a stream of flames, and instantly fell into the time gem. Snapped. Time keeps spinning rapidly, and it disappears in place in the blink of an eye. Quote. All angels. Oh, Mr. Luo Tien seems to travel through time and space. Kessie sighed. Yes, it's time travel. Vados also said. Are you going back to the past, or going to the future? Makurita thought thoughtfully. The Grand Priest was speechless. We agreed to go to meet Zeno-sama together. As a result, you travel through time and space. Don't you help with referrals? Fortunately, I met Master Zeno before. Otherwise it would be a bit rude. Let's keep going. Grand Priest sighed. Mr. Luo Tien should be doing what he wants to do. Past. 10,000 years ago. First universe. Snapped. Time keeps rapidly appearing in the universe space of the first universe. Shua. The next moment, Luo Tien's figure flew out from the time gem. With a wave of Luo Tien's big hand, he put away the time gem directly. Call out. Immediately afterwards, Luo Tien turned into a ray of light and roared towards the direction of the 18th universe. Snapped. Purple-red light flickered on Luo Tien's body. However, Luo Tien felt that it was still too slow. Snapped. Black rays of light wrapped around Luo Tien's body, releasing all the magic power. However, Luo Tien felt that it was not enough, and immediately attached a layer of angel power to himself. Afterwards, Luo Tien attached the gold energy of common to his whole body. Call out. Luo Tien raised the speed to the extreme, almost reaching the level of instant transmission. Just in the blink of an eye, Luo Tien penetrated the first universe on the spot and entered Wuji Sea. The worldless nothingness made way for Luo Tien one after another. In another instant, Luo Tien penetrated the realm of nothingness, and came to the 18th universe in a flash. Call out. Luo Tien's body left a streak of light in the 18th universe. The 18th universe, above the bright starry sky. Karu is getting closer and closer to Yuan Zun. Yuan Zun, I didn't expect you to have today, but you should be satisfied if you can die in my hands. Karu looked at Yuan Zun with a smile. The big gods of destruction Tiger watched the fun with folded arms. Relajo and Tu Shan hovered behind Tiger respectfully, looking at Yuan Zun gloatingly at his misfortune. Yuan Zun will undoubtedly die today. No one expected that this would be the result. We have the Lord Gods of Destruction behind us. Yuan Zun, you are dead. Yuan Zun struggled to get up, looked at Karu and Tiger coldly. What kind of eyes do you have? Do you still want to take revenge on me? Tiger chuckled, if you have the time, dig a hole for yourself. Yuan Zun, are you ready? I'll send you on your way right away. Karu said with a smile, and stretched out his hand, aiming at Yuan Zun's body from the air. Then, what is that? Tu Shan was taken aback, pointing to a stream of light in the distance. What? Relajo also discovered that streamer that was approaching at high speed. Tiger frowned, completely confused about what it was. Call out. Luo Tien's speed is really too fast, so fast that it is only an instant from the first universe to the 18th universe. Boom. Luo Tien hit Kalu's body directly with his own body. Accompanied by a bang, after receiving Luo Tien's impact, Karu turned into a blood mist on the spot, already dead and unable to die again. Luo Tien directly bumped Karu to death. However, Luo Tien didn't calm down the anger in his heart, and with a wave of his hand, he directly wiped out Kalu's soul completely. The next moment, Luo Tien's body gradually appeared opposite Tiger. Snapped. A scepter emerged from Luo Tien's hand, a black scepter. Call out. Luo Tien waved his hand lightly, and directly threw the scepter to Yuan Zun behind him. The crystal ball above the scepter shone brightly. Immediately, Yinmi's angel power quickly covered the head of state. Angel's power quickly healed Yuan Zun's injuries through his own treatment. This. Yuan Zun was stunned, and found that his injury was recovering. In less than 3 seconds, Yuan Zun found that his injury had completely healed. Moreover, the scars left on the arm before have been repaired by the healing flame. Yuan Zun looked forward in some confusion, and looked at that stalwart figure. Who is this? Feels like a Terran. When did the human race give birth to such a powerful character? How can I not know? Oh, human race. Tiger also looked at Luo Tien in surprise. Kuru. Tu Shandon yelled loudly. What? Kuru let him crash to death. Relajo's expression changed again and again. Your brother is dead. If you don't seek revenge on him quickly, what are you still doing there? Tiger said coldly. Wow. Tu Dandan and Rui Lajiao no longer had the slightest hesitation, and immediately rushed towards Luo Tien's place with claws and claws. Boom. Luo Tien didn't even take a shot, and directly used his own powerful energy to blow Tu Dandan and Rila Gayao backwards. Yuan Zun behind him was stunned. How is this kid so strong? Just blowing these 2 mice away with air. Boy, you are very strong. Tiger smiled, a very gloomy smile. Boom. Luo Tien didn't have any extra nonsense, and slapped him across the air. With a muffled sound, Tiger was hit on the spot, feeling a burning pain on his face. Boom. Luo Tien slapped him again, and slapped Tago's other face. Tiger was stunned by the beating, and his expression changed again and again. Boom. Luo Tien still didn't say much, and slapped his backhand. Wow. Tiger was furious. Purple-red energy surged from all over his body, roaring towards Luo Tien, and punched Luo Tien heavily. Snapped. Luo Tien stretched out a finger lightly, so easily caught Tiger's attacking fist. Tiger was dumbfounded. Tu Shan was stunned. Relago's eyes widened. Yuan Zun was surprised and delighted. Who is this? Whose child is this? Why is it so powerful? If only I had descendants like this. Pity. My children and grandchildren are all average in strength. You, who are you? Tiger felt the endless shock and fear, and hastily withdrew his fist back, looking at Luo Tien with some fear. I'm a human race. Luo Tien replied. Yuan Zun burst into tears with excitement. It really is my race. This is impossible. It is impossible for the human race to have such a powerful figure. Tiger exclaimed. I don't like things with long hair either. Luo Tien sneered, pointed at Tiger lightly, and a flame shot out immediately. The flame quickly covered Tiger's body. Flames burned on Tiger's body. Circle. Tiger screamed in pain. In the blink of an eye, the tiger hair on Tiger's body was burnt clean, revealing his pitch-black skin. Is your body hairless now? Luo Tien sneered. Chu Shandin was completely taken aback. Relagio was also trembling with fright. Who is this guy? Isn't even Lord Gods of Destruction his opponent? Do you know who I am? Tiger was furious. Isn't it the big Gods of Destruction Tiger? Luo Tien smiled lightly. What did you say? You know who I am. Tiger was stunned. Not only do I know who you are, I also know that you will definitely die today, and no one will help you. Luo Tien sneered. Even if Zeno comes over in person, I will let you die in pain. What did you say? Tiger was stunned, his expression changing again and again. Boom. Luo Tien slapped him from the air again, hitting directly on Tiger's face. Tiger rolled a somersault in the air at that time, feeling waves of despair. I'm no match for this guy at all. He is just too powerful. HMPH, winning or losing is another matter. Tiger sneered, and immediately rose into the sky, quickly appearing in the universe space. Ah! Tiger raised his hands high, and a huge destructive energy condensed in his hands. The destructive energy rose with the wind, and soon expanded to a diameter of 50 meters. Tiger laughed wildly. Boy, aren't you a human race? Next, I will destroy the blue star below. Of course, you can catch my destructive energy, so that your planet will not be destroyed by me. Tiger laughed wildly. Already it is to condense the destructive energy to the extreme. Luo Tien glanced at Tiger's condensed destructive energy. The big Gods of Destruction Tiger 10,000 years ago was too mediocre in strength. If it is divided according to the level of Gods of Destruction, it will reach the third stage of Gods of Destruction. It can be said that in terms of strength, the current Tiger is actually similar to the Relagio in the next 10,000 years. Not to mention the strength of Relagio, even Tiger 10,000 years later is not enough to fight against Luo Tien now. Luo Tien didn't absorb Tiger's destructive energy at all. Luo Tien despised that destructive energy. Moreover, the destructive energy in Luo Tien's body is already saturated. Hey, young man, let's fight side by side. Yuan Zun quickly appeared beside Luo Tien with a movement of his body. Luo Tien turned his head and looked towards Yuan Zun. Yuan Zun gave Luo Tien a friendly smile. Luo Tien nodded to Yuan Zun. Go to hell. Tiger pressed down with his big hand, and the destructive energy condensed in his hand also flew down towards the direction where Luo Tien and Yuan Zun were. Let me block the destructive energy. Get out of here quickly. Yuan Zun said, and was about to step forward. Luo Tien, are you playing this trick with me again? I couldn't protect you before. I am so strong now. Can't I even protect you? What do you think I came to this era for? Snapped. Luo Tien stretched out his hand in the air, and directly lifted Yuan Zun, who flew out and slipped back. Watch carefully, don't take the initiative to die. Luo Tien reprimanded. Yuan Zun was stunned. Who is this kid? Why do I have a kind feeling? Shua. Looking at the rapidly falling destructive energy, Luo Tien waved his hand lightly, and directly used the erasure technique to completely wipe out the falling destructive energy. What? Tiger was stunned, and his face changed again and again. Was that just a removal? It's not a little knowledge, even erasure can be seen. Luo Tien said with a smile. What is your relationship with Mr. Zeno? Tiger was dumbfounded, feeling endless panic. Zeno is an ass in front of me. Luo Tien snorted. Tiger, who the hell is this guy? Zeno is an ass in front of him. Then what am I? Boom. Luo Tien continued to slap across the air, and slapped Tiger's face fiercely. Tiger's eyes were full of endless despair. Boom. Luo Tien calmly slapped him again. Tiger's body kept rolling in the air. I've decided, I'm going to beat you to death to relieve my anger. Luo Tien snorted coldly. Tiger's face became as ugly as it could be. At this critical moment, without the slightest hesitation, he immediately gritted his teeth and took out a crystal ball from his chest. Snapped. Tiger immediately crushed the crystal ball. Luo Tien paused temporarily. Tiger, what's going on? Why use emergency call mode? Suddenly, a stalwart figure appeared on the crystal ball. It is Zeno. That's old Zeno. During this period, Xiaochuan had not yet been born. Zeno's projection appeared on the scene, looking back, forth, left, and right with his small bean-like eyes. Quan Wangli noticed Tiger's embarrassed appearance immediately. Tiger, what's wrong with you? Do you look embarrassed? Are there any human beings that you can't deal with? Zeno asked. Master Zeno, save me. Tiger said to Zeno in despair, and immediately pointed to Luo Tien. Master Zeno is the one who injured me, and I am no match for him at all. He said you are a fart. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.